Hi collective, welcome back to my channel. I am the Nosy Witch and this is my channel, Nosy Witch Tarot. I do pick a card readings here on YouTube. Just a heads up, my readings do tend to be pretty long, they tend to be deep dives, so grab a hot or cold beverage of choice, get settled, get cozy, because we have a lot to get through today. So today's reading is titled, Who is Under Your Spell and Why? We're keeping it witchy, we're keeping it Halloweeny for October, we're using these cute spooky stickers to match the vibe, but please remember this reading is timeless whenever you find it is the right time. Now this one is going to be part hype you up, part tea spill, with a whole lot of juicy details about the person who's absolutely obsessed with you. We're going to be using a mix of oracle and tarot cards today, and we're going to be looking at who this person is and how you might know them. We're going to be giving you some confirmations, so they could be numbers, astrology things, or just random specific details so you know whether or not a pal is yours. We're going to be discussing your dynamic with this person, where the energy is right now, where it's headed, the overall story between you and them, and most importantly, we are going to address why they are under your spell, why they can't stop thinking about you. So that is the hype you up portion, and then we're going to do a quick tea leaf card pull at the end for extra clarity. Now, in terms of who this reading is for, literally anyone who is curious and who wants the tea on who's under their spell right now. So the who can be absolutely anyone, an old flame, a new flame, an ex, a friend, a neighbour, a colleague, a crush, a secret admirer, even someone you don't know about yet. I'm always going to be honest about who is coming through. Most pals will probably lean more romantic or spicy, but if something else pops up, like somebody is obsessed with you for a different reason, I'll say that too for your clarity. So be open-minded, we could have lots of different situations coming through today. Okay, so a few gentle disclaimers. Just because I'm channeling someone with feelings for you does not mean that I am advocating that you be with them, engage with them, or return their feelings if that's just not where you're at. These messages are purely offered for your clarity, not to try and control you or dictate your life. Tarot should be fun and it should be insightful. It shouldn't dictate your life. If you feel like this reading may impact you negatively or you're not in the headspace to hear about other people and their thoughts about you, it's totally okay to skip this one. Always check the description for trigger warnings. I'll also pin key details in the top comment, so you know what to expect with this reading today. As I always say, it's a collective reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. It's a free reading on the internet and I am not holding you hostage here. If a pile doesn't fit, it may simply not be your message today, and that's okay. I want to say also that you are more than welcome to pick more than one pile. If one pal, for example, brings up an ex that you're done with, another pal might highlight someone new with better potential. If none resonate for you, no worries, just don't take it out on me in the comments because rude comments will not be tolerated. I do not have the energy or the patience for it. That said, I truly do love hearing from you guys. I love hearing about the things that resonated. I love hearing which pal you chose or what's going on in your lives. So share away if you feel comfortable. When it comes to any of that stuff, you are always welcome to share with me. I really appreciate the energy that you guys bring. Oh, the nail polish that I'm wearing today is actually called Break the Spell. So maybe that's a cheeky sign for some of you. Maybe you're ready to break a spell with somebody. And for others, maybe it's confirmation that you have got someone very enchanted indeed. So let's have a look at the pals today. I'm going to go ahead and introduce those. Here we have pal 1 with the Weird Cat Tarot and the spooky Bubblegum Dispenser sticker. Here we have pal 2 with the Botan Tarot and the spooky Ice Lolly sticker. Here we have pal 3 with the Cute Ghost Tarot and the Witch's Hat sticker. Here we have pal 4 with the Pacific Northwest Tarot and the Pumpkin Kitty sticker. And here we have pal 5 with the Orchid Valley Tarot and the Haunted House sticker. Once you've selected your pile, head to the pinned comment or the description box for the timestamps to jump straight to the start of your reading. I just want to say thank you so much for being here and listening. Thank you for spending this time with me. I truly hope you enjoy the reading. Take care and I'll see you at your chosen pile collective. Hi Pile 1 Collective! If you chose the Weird Cat Tarot and you chose this spooky Bubblegum Dispenser sticker, you are in the correct place. Welcome to your reading, friends. This reading is titled, Who is Under Your Spell and Why? If you would like a full breakdown regarding absolutely everything this reading will entail, please check out my introduction. I go through absolutely everything there. I will also leave some details in the pinned comment below for your reference. But without any further hesitation, let's get started and have a look at the cards we pulled for you, Pile 1. As usual, we're going to be using a selection of oracle cards and tarot cards. We're diving straight into who this person is and why they're under your spell. By the way, it's really hard to get all of the cards in frame. I've used a lot of cards today. Don't worry if they're not all in frame at first. I will lay the cards and then I will double check. But yeah, I'm just going to pop your sticker to one side for now. Okay, so starting off here on the left, we have got Strength from the Modern Witch Spiritual deck. And clarifying Strength, we have got the Four of Cups. From the Moonology Oracle, we have got Adjustments Are Required, Third Quarter Moon. And clarifying that is the Ten of Swords. From the Green Witch Oracle, we have got number 36, Gratitude, Pink Rose. And clarifying that, we have got the Ace of Swords in reverse. From the Audacity deck, we have got the Breast Pump. And clarifying the Breast Pump, we have got the Seven of Cups in reverse. From the Wild Muse Oracle, we have got Leap of Faith. And clarifying Leap of Faith, we have got the Chariot. From the Unmasked Truth Oracle, we have got Whisked Away, Navigating Life's Journey, Things Move Quickly, Bumps in the Road, Adventure, Trust, Insecure. And clarifying that, we have got the Two of Wands. From the Wandering Soul Oracle, we have got Escape, and clarifying Escape, we have got Wheel of Fortune, okay? And the Archetypes Oracle, we have got Advocate, Light Attribute, inspires you to put compassion into action, and Shadow Attribute, embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. And clarifying that, we have got the Page of Pentacles. Okay, it's a little bit of a tight squeeze, but hopefully you can see all the cards here. I think you can just about. So let me start with some confirmations and first impressions, Pile 1. I always like to mention the numbers at the start of these readings when we have cards with numbers. So the number 36 or the individual numbers 3, 6 or 9 might be meaningful for some of you. Maybe this is in terms of an age, a birthday, a date, an astrological house, or even a life path number. So for example, 3rd house would be Gemini, 6th house would be Virgo, and 9th would be Sagittarius. For some of you, those could be prominent placements in your chart, or in theirs, or it could relate to synastry between you and this person. Another major theme that I'm getting with your pile, in particular Pile 1, it has a lot to do with parenthood. With the Breast Pump card particularly, some of you could actually be parents yourself. Maybe there's been a pregnancy experience, or for some of you, I know this is like a really specific message, it's probably not going to apply to more than a couple of people, but some of you could have engaged with some advocacy around motherhood or breastfeeding rights. I'm getting something about free the nip, and you know, that's coming through with that advocate card. I know that might only hit for a very small number of you, but I just wanted to say it. And also something that speaks to motherhood for me is the imagery of the tiger with strength showing up. You know, being a parent, being a mother, going through a pregnancy, that takes a lot of strength, a lot of endurance. I'm also thinking, because of the imagery, do you know when people refer to like their stretch marks as tiger stripes? I'm getting something about somebody using body oil on their stretch marks, or maybe you have a story around some certain mark on your body. It doesn't have to be a stretch mark, maybe like a birthmark or something, but there's like a story behind it, a story of strength, maybe like a scar or something. That is a random message for somebody. I know that stretch marks aren't exclusive to pregnancy. Obviously, most of us get them when we go through puberty, but I just wanted to mention that in relation to like the other cards that are showing up. But yeah, I'm also getting for this pile, there's something about feline magnetism. It's like beauty and danger. I'm also seeing like cat eye makeup, maybe winged liner, sharp stiletto nails, animal print. That could be for somebody here. Maybe you do one of those things. It's like, basically you give this vibe of like, cute, but don't get too close because I bite. Those kind of vibes. And this person definitely notices that. That's something I want to say right off the bat for you, Pile 1. And yeah, even the Bubblegum Dispenser sticker, that kind of makes me think of like childhood toys, going to the arcade, things like that. For some, that could be literal memories or just this sense of like a playful and sweet energy around you. So right off the bat, why are they under your spell? Well, it's because you have this tiger energy. You are strong, you are independent, you are sensual, you're a little bit dangerous, you have a little bit of an edge, and you're completely unforgettable. There's also something about very intense eye contact that could be for somebody. Maybe you and this person have that or have had that in the past. Yeah, this person sees you as independent. It's like you want people, but you don't need them. Some of you guys could be a little bit territorial, but it's not in a clingy way. You kind of have this attitude of like, what's mine is mine, but at the same time, you are not begging anyone to be yours, and that really appeals to them. They also see you as somebody very courageous, like you've faced challenges and you've learnt your lessons and you stand firm in your values. And that mix of independence and strength is quite rare to see. It's like they know that they can't play with you, and that is part of the obsession. You stand out because you are just like unapologetically you. Now, who this person is, let's talk about this person specifically. I don't feel like this is some secret admirer, to be quite honest with you, pal one. I don't think this is a stranger. I think there was already some kind of dynamic here. At the very least, like a talking stage, a situationship, or maybe for some of you this is an ex. For a lot of you though, this feels more like you started giving this person a chance. There was potential here, but it kind of ended before it really began. You were initially open to them, but the energy shifted and you kind of cut it off before it became messy. That's what I'm getting. Like, that's the overall vibe, especially with the Four of Cups and the Ten of Swords showing up. This says to me that you saw a pattern forming, and it's like you said to yourself, not again. I think this Ten of Swords has something to do with you learning from your past pain. You know not to let somebody waste your time. So it's like instead of hanging around for what you perceived would be a disappointment, you withdrew your energy fast. And it doesn't mean that you didn't like this person. I think in many cases this is mutual, or it was mutual at one point. It had potential. But it's like you're also, I want to say you've been around the block, but I don't mean it like that. I want to say you're like seasoned enough to know when to cut a cord before it costs you your peace. That is the thing. You're like, no, I've done this before. Like, I've learned from past interactions and past experiences. So it's like before you could really attach, or before you could get too deep into this, somebody withdrew here. And I think that person could have been you. Maybe they were doing some withdrawing of themselves first, and that was the pattern you noticed that you didn't like. But I think ultimately you kind of made the final decision of like, I'm not doing this anymore. Whatever this was, like I said, I don't think it really got started. It didn't go as deep as it could have gone. I think that's what I'm getting. But ultimately, like, you made the final decision on that. That's something I'm seeing. And for them, that moment was really huge. That moment was crucial. They weren't expecting you to pull back so quickly. Basically, they thought they had more time. And that's part of why they can't stop thinking about you. It's part of why they're under your spell. So in terms of why things stalled here, you might have felt like this person showed up in a way that didn't really align with what you expect for the stage that you were at. So you could have felt, for example, like they were apathetic, they weren't matching your energy. You could have felt like they said one thing, but then they did another. And you could have felt like they didn't really communicate effectively, or maybe they kept pulling back. So instead of letting this go on, instead of it being dragged out and you not really knowing where you stand, it feels like you kind of mirrored their apathy and you matched their distance. And for you, it was kind of this mentality of like, look, I've been patient, I've given you grace, but if you're not showing up like someone who is absolutely obsessed with me should, then I'm out. I don't know why, but I'm thinking of that new Doja Cat song. I can't remember what it's called, but the chorus is like, I have too much tolerance, are you ugly and fine as shit, or something. Basically, I think you've been a bit conflicted by this person, but ultimately it's like you decided you weren't liking the energy and you were like, it's not really worth it, so I'm gonna like pull back. And it's basically saying like, you had your shot and you fumbled, so bye, I'm done here. And the thing is, the disappointment that you felt towards their behaviour, it wasn't just about them, it was the principle. It was you saying like, I've been here before, I've had relationships that have drained me, and you now know like what's worth your time and what's not. So you saw the red flags and you cut it before it could cut you. It didn't cut you that deep in this situation because you cut it off before it could because other situations have cut you deep, if that kind of makes sense. I don't know whether it does. I hope this is resonating for somebody. I am getting that for many of you, one big reason you kind of felt the need to pull back or you started losing interest is that point of like what they said didn't line up with what they did. So these examples might not resonate specifically to your situation. Just use the examples as like a placeholder to apply to your situation. That's what they're there for. They're not here to like box you in. But a few examples of what this could have been is like this person talking about being big on communication, but then ghosting. Or it could be, you know, this person claiming to share your values, maybe values to do with like feminism or spirituality or lifestyle choices, but then they contradicted what they'd said in these small ways. Or it could be this person saying they want commitment, but then acting lukewarm. And essentially, for want of a better phrase, it kind of gave you the ick. Like, you're somebody who means what you say and you value authenticity, and they weren't showing that. And that kind of made you wonder, like, were they just pretending to be aligned with me all along to get my validation? Like, were they genuine with this at all? It came across as a bit disingenuous, I think, to you. And from their perspective, and here's the twist, part one, I don't actually see them as some evil mastermind trying to trick you. This actually feels more like confusion and identity issues on their part. They genuinely do admire your strengths and their values. They want to be like you. That's a big part of this. But instead of owning who they are now, they basically tried to present who they wish they were. Basically, they were being delulu until it came true, but you kind of saw through the mask. So they ended up bending the truth in this. And it wasn't, I don't think, to deceive you maliciously. Obviously, you know your situation better than anyone else. That might not apply to all of you, but I'm just saying what I'm seeing and I'm just being honest. But it basically came down to like they didn't really like the current version of themselves, so they didn't want to see the truth or talk about the truth surrounding that current version of themselves. It's like they aspire to be a better version and they wanted you to view them as if they were already there. But still, the effect on you felt the same. It felt disingenuous, and you don't do disingenuous. That's the thing. You basically saw that as like a lie, a trick, a deception, and that's valid. But yeah, they are definitely still hooked. Power one. I feel like with that Seven of Cups reversed in particular, this is saying like it's you. They know the choice is you. There's no doubt about it. And with that Page of Pentacles and the Advocate, they see you as someone who taught them something, someone they admire deeply, and they're very grateful for that as well with that gratitude card. They're grateful for that, even if it means they lost you. And with Whisked Away and the Two of Wands, again, they feel like you were snatched out of their life too soon. To them, it feels unfinished. They can't stop sort of replaying what happened, what they should have said, what they should have done differently. There's definitely an obsessive quality here. They're stuck on all the what ifs right now. And honestly, a part of their obsession is pure curiosity. It's like they never got to see all of your layers and they still want to. And it feels like right now they are frustrated because you didn't chase, and they might be used to being chased because you pulled away decisively. Maybe you even blocked or restricted them. Like one minute they had access and the next they didn't. You were suddenly whisked away out of their grasp. And I think they keep debating whether to reach out to you, but they're still quite fearful of potential rejection. And yet the urge to reach out just keeps it building and building for them. With that leap of faith and the Chariot coming through, this person definitely wants to take action. They want to overcome this distance and just go for it. And with the Wheel of Fortune coming up with Escape, they feel like fate still has a role to play here. Like some of you might literally even run into this person by chance, and that could actually trigger them to make a move. With that Strength and the Four of Cups, Strength tells me you have an inner fire. You have this self-control. You radiate this quiet confidence. And the Four of Cups tells me they didn't seize their chance, and they know that. But you didn't wait around. That's the thing. You were like, I'm taking this out of your hands. I'm going to withdraw if you're not giving me what I want. For you, it was this self-preservation thing that aligns with your own boundaries, your own respect for yourself. But for them, it felt devastating because they saw so much potential there. With adjustments are required with that third quarter moon showing up with the Ten of Swords. This is saying you've learned from your past endings. Basically, you weren't prepared to repeat old cycles. So again, you cut it before it cut you. And for them, it felt abrupt. For you, it was obvious that this had to happen. You knew your worth and you chose to let things go with grace. With Gratitude and the Ace of Swords in reverse, This person is really, really grateful for you. They know that you gave them grace, maybe more grace than they deserved. But Ace of Swords reverse shows that their inconsistency and their words not matching their actions. That is what gave you the ick. That's what confused you. And you really taught them that authenticity matters. That lesson has kind of stuck with them. That is something they think about a lot. With the breast bump and the Seven of Cups reversed, you gave effort and then you pulled back when it wasn't reciprocated. The Seven of Cups reversed indicates to me they feel like they've made their choice now. They know it's you, but they feel like it's too late, and that's why they're still hooked. Things have become clear to them now. They know that all roads point to you, but they know it's going to take a leap of faith to get there. With the leap of faith and the Chariot, it's like they're psyching themselves up. They're psyching themselves up to act. They know they can't stay in limbo. Like, if they want a shot with you, they have to come correct. They know that. They know that. But yeah, they don't quite know how. They don't know what the reception will be either. Because you might be done with this power one. Like, I don't know. And yeah, with Whisked Away and the Two of Wands, they literally feel like you just disappeared overnight and they are stuck overthinking. They've got the phone in the hand, they're thinking of texting you, they're thinking of calling you, but they're kind of scared to act and they're unable to let this go. With Escape and the Wheel of Fortune, they can't escape their obsession. They feel fate is involved in this somehow. I keep getting that. Some of them are literally waiting for like the universe to line up this reunion for them. And yeah, with Advocate and the Page of Pentacles, they really admire that you stand for your values and that is something you've taught them. You walk your talk. Page of Pentacles says to me that they kind of see you as a teacher, like an inspiration. You have raised the bar for them in some way. That's something they won't forget. I think this person is definitely under your spell because you embody this fierce independence, you embody this strength and this authenticity. And because you didn't tolerate their half-hearted energy, you withdrew quickly, and that surprised them in ways that they haven't been surprised before. They do feel like they missed their chance. It's like you were whisked away before things could truly begin, and maybe now they're fantasizing about all the things that could have been. Ultimately, they do have admiration and respect for you as a person. They're grateful for what you showed them. They do still want more, because to them right now, it's like you're the one who got away. I'm getting that, like you're the one who got away. And that curiosity mixed with that regret keeps them hooked. It keeps them checking up on what you're doing or trying to, but they feel like they don't really have access to you at the moment. Maybe they're blocked. Maybe it's like when you were done with them, they got deleted off social media or something because you were like, what's the point keeping in contact if this isn't going to be anything? And that felt very final to them. And then they were suddenly like, oh, wait, no, where's pile one gone? So it's something like that. Obviously, it doesn't have to be that example, but yeah, whether you've let this person back in or not, you have absolutely made your mark. They will never ever forget the lesson you've taught them, and they're never going to stop replaying you in their mind, pile one. So that is what I am getting for you, pile one. Before we close your reading today, I just want to end the reading with a few confirmations from the Tea Leaf Oracle, just to kind of wrap things up, maybe get some extra confirmations for you guys. So let's have a look at what we pulled. Okay, so we have got Bird Perch, Waiting for News, Package, Letter. We have got Jug, Light-Hearted, Carefree Time. We've got Seahorse, Family Matters. And we've got Mice, Discord among friends or family. A couple of messages about family or friends coming through, so maybe that's relevant to this connection. Maybe family or friends getting in the way. Maybe, you know, if this person wasn't communicating very well, if they were distant, maybe it genuinely was like family or friend things getting in the way, like they had to pay a lot of attention to that. But perhaps you interpreted that as disinterest because you weren't getting what you needed from the start of the connection ultimately. So, you know, that could apply. Bird Perched is interesting to me. Like, some of you, an extra confirmation for you guys is if you literally have a delivery, you have a package, or you have an important letter coming today or coming soon. That's a fun little real world confirmation. But in relation to this person, it feels like they're waiting for the right time to reach out. Bird Perch makes me think of somebody like tentative, waiting for the perfect moment. Letter makes me think of written communication as well. So this could be a text, it could be a DM, it could be an email. They may even be hoping that you'll reach out first, and that's why they're being a bit tentative. But honestly, I don't see that happening part one. It looks like you're kind of pretty done with this. So this feels like their move to make. If they are going to make a move, like they have to take that initiative. With Jug, Lighthearted, Carefree Time, I feel like this is saying on the surface, someone here is coming across as very light-hearted, carefree, maybe even a little bit blasé. This could be them watching you live your life. This could be them watching you enjoying yourself. Maybe if you're posting things online that they can see, they have privy to. It's like they're trying to mimic your vibe. They're like, oh yeah, I'm good as well. Like, I'm good too. I'm so carefree. They're like the cool guy or cool girl. But let's be real. Let's be real for a second. That jug is full of pretty heavy emotions when it comes to you. They're putting on a front. So let's not play pretend. And you know that about one. With Seahorse and family matters, this could relate to you just spending more time with family, or maybe they have. But seahorses also make me think of like flipping gender roles, since male seahorses give birth. That could be relevant somehow. Maybe it's about parenting, about caregiving, or even just like non-traditional family dynamics. It could be hinting at the way this connection challenges expectations in a societal kind of way. That might just be a message for somebody. And yeah, the mice card, discord among friends or family. Yeah, for some, this person may be dealing with conflict in their personal life right now. Maybe they have just had a falling out with somebody and it's really weighing on them. For others, you know, it could be a warning that if they did reach out to you, you might feel like your own friends or family wouldn't approve of that reconnection. You feel like it would maybe cause drama in your circle or something like that. Again, that's just a message for somebody. But yeah, those are your confirmations, pile one. I really, really hope you enjoyed this reading today. If you did like the reading, please like the video. Please comment if you get a chance. Any engagement is really helpful. I would really, really appreciate you letting me know what resonated. But I totally get it. If you're not comfortable doing that, please feel free to just claim your pile or just put an emoji or just tell me that you listened to the reading. All of that helps me so, so much. It just pushes my channel out there. It lets the algorithm know that you don't mind my reading and you don't mind seeing more. And on a personal note, I just really, really love hearing from you guys. I love hearing about what you have to say. I love hearing your stories in terms of like who this person is. I'm nosy, so I love it when you guys spill the tea. Come on. Please hype the video if you fancy. A couple of you hyped my video last time, so thank you so, so much if that was you. I really appreciate it. I don't really know what it does yet, but I think it's a good thing. So yeah, keep doing that if you want to do it, only if you genuinely liked the video and it resonated with you. Of course, no pressure to do any of this. But yeah, please share and sub if you haven't done so already and you want to do that. With all of that said, I really appreciate you listening today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here with me. Thank you for sending me your beautiful energy. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Take care and I'll see you in the next one, pile one. Hi Pile 2 Collective, if you chose the Botan Tarot and you chose this spooky ice lolly sticker, you are in the correct place. Welcome to your reading, friends. This reading is titled Who is Under Your Spell and Why? If you would like a full breakdown regarding everything this reading will entail, please check out my introduction. I go through absolutely everything there, including any disclaimers you need to know. I will also leave some details in the pinned comment below for your reference. But without any further hesitation, let's get started and have a look at the cards we pulled for you, Pile 2. As usual, we're going to be using a selection of oracle cards and tarot cards today. We are diving straight into who this person is and why they are under your spell. Do not worry if I lay the cards and they're not all in frame at first. It is really, really hard to get all these cards in frame, but I want you to be able to see them all as clearly as possible. I'm not working with the most space here or the best camera, just be mindful of that, but I'll lay the cards and then I will check that they're all in frame, so don't worry. Okay, I'm going to pop your sticker to one side for now. Okay, so over here from the Modern Witch Spiritual deck, we have meditation. Are you meditating, Pile 2? Love that for you. Give me some tips because I cannot meditate for the life of me. Every time I try, I just get so distracted. And the clarifier for meditation is the 9 of Coins. Very nice. That's the 9 of Pentacles. From the Moonology Oracle deck, we have got Step Out of Your Comfort Zone North Node. Wow, destiny at play here, Pile 2. And the clarifier for that is the 9 of Cups. That's beautiful. From the Green Witch Oracle, we have got number 4, Emotion, Cucumber. Stay hydrated, especially if you're crying a lot with this full moon in Aries that we've just had. I know I am. Emotions are heightened right now. If you're listening at the time of me uploading, you might not be. This is timeless. And the clarifier for emotion is the 7 of Cups. From the Audacity Oracle deck, we have the High Priestess. Very cool. And the clarifier for the High Priestess is the Devil. Interesting. Do we have some psychics, some readers who chose Pile 2? You might be a tarot reader yourself. You might be very into the woo-woo. From the Wild Muse Oracle, We've got Trust Your Intuition. That came through in my last reading, and I promise these cards were shuffled really, really well. So that's interesting that this is coming through. Maybe you picked the pile with Trust Your Intuition, like for my last reading, if you watched it. We don't have to, of course. And the clarifier for Trust Your Intuition is the Empress. Oh, I love that. Very pretty. From the Unmasked Truth Oracle, we have Gateway to Love, Open Hearts, Unite, Love's Welcome Embrace, Barriers to Intimacy, Close, Accepting, Blocks. And the clarifier for that is the Knight of Coins. From the Wandering Soul Oracle, we have got Cleanse. And the clarifier is the Five of Cups. From the Archetype Oracle, we have got King. Somebody has found their king. Stop right now. This is your husband. This is your wife, pal too. Okay, I'm exaggerating, like I'm being very dramatic, but yeah, we got King, so that is pretty positive. Light attributes: enlightened, benevolent leadership, benefiting those in your charge, and shadow attribute is excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. Maybe you are the king, pal too. You have king energy. And the clarifier for king is the Ace of Coins. Lovely. Okay, I think those are just about all in frame. Oh my god, my camera is bouncing. So in terms of confirmations, we have the number 4 showing up. That is ringing loudly to me right now. The emotion card. So the number 4 could be relevant in terms of a date, a birthday, a age, a life path, a angel number or synchronicity you're seeing a lot of, an astrological house. So maybe 4th house themes, Cancer themes. Cancer as a placement could be relevant, or just themes surrounding home, roots, family, and stability. That is coming through for you, pal too. There's also a message about hydration. Somebody here just bought a new water bottle, a new Stanley, a new cute cup, something. Somebody is trying to track their water intake. Somebody is leaning into like clean foods and rituals, maybe organic foods. There's definitely something about staying hydrated though, so if you've not got a glass of water with you, go get one, pal too. That's an order. Yeah, there's something about somebody deep cleaning or decluttering. I'm seeing like spring cleaning energy. I know it's not spring, it's October when I'm recording this, but I think it's important to have like an autumn clear out as well. I personally have clear outs, like big clear outs, a couple of times a year. So yeah, somebody is organising their cupboards, clearing a closet, deleting old files, just organising generally, things like that. Some of you are currently dealing with literal moves. Maybe you'll move into a new home, or you're about to go to a new job. There is something about like grief for an old way coming through, but there is a doorway to the new here. So it's like sadness and relief sitting together. I'm getting that for somebody. Again, that might not be for everyone. And yeah, something strong coming through in terms of a confirmation about meditation, yoga, guided tracks. Many of you are actively spiritual, or you're readers yourselves. You're very plugged into divination, you're plugged into wellness, you are in communication with your guides, you are very intuitive. I'm also getting like a very entrepreneurial vibe. Basically, you guys, I think you're pretty allergic to soulless box ticking exercises. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not shitting on 9-to-5 corporate jobs. You can do a 9-to-5 that is absolutely important for society and progression and healing. But I think for you guys, like when I summarize corporate jobs in that way, I'm not like crapping on them or anything. It's just to say, for someone like you might either need to be your own boss, or you need to do something that really matters and speaks to your soul. You crave like autonomy and you crave impact. I think for you guys, your work needs to align with your purpose, with that North Node coming through. Or even if your work doesn't, like you have to do something on the side that aligns with your deeper purpose. You look for meaning in life. You thrive when things matter. And when they start to not matter, it's difficult to stay focused on them. That is what I'm getting for you. And yeah, with you picking the spooky ice lolly, especially considering it's October, I'm getting something about like out of season sort of vibes. So somebody doing something unexpected, or maybe moving at an unusual time, like having a summer snack in autumn. I'm also getting something about somebody with a particular temperature quirks, maybe somebody who runs abnormally hot in winter, or who is still very chilly in summer, always fiddling with layers or with their thermostat for the perfect temperature or something along those lines. Somebody could have turned the temperature up or down in their house in the past couple of days. I'm also getting something about cold plunges. I'm getting something about biohacking as well. Ice baths, contrast showers, somebody engaging with like optimize my routine content and things like that. These are just random confirmations. Maybe just one applies to you. Maybe none of them do. It doesn't mean it's not your pile. I just like to mention those things at the beginning. So first impressions. Let's talk about who this person is. This is not a random stranger, pal too. Their presence is definitely on your radar, I will say that. there is a history, even if it's subtle. I don't mean history as in you have to have been in a relationship with them, but this does read to me like some kind of mutual crush, to be quite honest. And it seems like I'm just getting this vibe that there's this ocean of unspoken feelings. So, you know, on your end, you could have noticed with this individual eye contact that lingers longer than it should. Conversations on the surface look kind of mundane, but feel charged. Like the vibe, the energy doesn't match what you're actually talking about. It always feels like there's an underlying something going on. There's also this sense that both of you have been seen naked. I'm getting naked, like spiritually, emotionally, before you're even flirting or before the conversation is even going in any direction that would indicate that there are feelings. That's what's coming through. And actually for you guys, I think you've probably asked your guides what this is. You've probably meditated on it. You might have pulled cards yourself. You might have asked yourself, am I imagining this? And the overall message here is that you're not. Like with the High Priestess and trust your intuition, you already know that there's something here. You know, what muddies it, I think, is that Devil card. The mind sort of loops. You're overthinking, you're saying to yourself, like, don't be silly, they don't even think about you. They're not investing this much energy thinking about you as you are about them. Maybe if you're like, as one example, doesn't have to be this for you, but checking their social media for tiny clues, but then later you tell yourself off like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. You're just being more delulu when it comes to this. But newsflash, pal two, this person is doing the exact same thing. You're mirroring each other, same intensity, same caution as well. You are two deep feelers, both plain stoic on the surface. On the surface, they may present as somebody very contained. You will notice that about them. They might be quite practical. They might be very focused. Classic sort of got their head down, handling business type of person to look at them. But underneath, a flood, a mess. You feel it because you're tuned in. They feel it, but they kind of second guess it because they're used to leading with their logical mind and not their intuition. You might be more skilled when it comes to your intuition, so you might pick up on more of this, but they are feeling the same, just in a different way. So let's have a chat about why they're under your spell. You radiate the Empress and the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups energy all in one. You are all of it. You are this embodiment of soft power, of self-possession, and of magnetism. You do not chase, you attract, you pour into yourself and your spaces, and it shows. It shows in how you dress, how you move, the feeling of calm that you bring to rooms. You are fertile in ideas, in creativity, and for some, like literally, that could be a part of it. Maybe they love your curves or your groundedness. It's like they love that you are both vulnerable and unshakably confident too. To them, you're like a wish fulfillment, but with that independence of the Nine of Pentacles, it's this rare balance of both. Like, you are this rare person that they really admire. You're not asking to be chosen, you already chose yourself, and that is the spell here. So the vibe between you guys with that High Priestess and with the Devil, there is a sacred chemistry, but it's totally wrapped up in restraint. Like, both of you feel it, both of you overanalyze it, both of you are very tempted by it, but I don't think anyone's really said anything that has brought this out in the open. The cucumber / emotion card and the Seven of Cups, there are waves of feeling there. I think both of you definitely go into daydream spirals about each other. You are confused about the fantasy versus the reality. I think they often drift into what ifs, and then they kind of snap back into this discipline mode. And I think you sense it because the energy leaks, especially in the eyes. Like, you can't get past this, you can't just ignore it, the feeling is there, but they quickly flip back to being disciplined, and it's confusing. But for you guys as well, there's this vibe of like, there's a home frequency. I think that's why that fourth house energy was coming through with you guys. There's this weird comfort and like sense of somebody being familiar, even if you barely know each other past like initial first impressions. Obviously, it's going to be different depending on how close you are with this person in your day-to-day life. But yeah, there's this really intense past life deja vu. There's soul recognition. I won't throw the phrase that everybody uses, label around carelessly. You know I don't do that as a reader. Fate doesn't mean force. But if you have thought this feels fated, or this feels like a nudge from my North Node for this person to be in my life, for us to have met like this, I feel like there's something going on here, like we're here to do something together, then that is your confirmation. And this is stuff that your intuition already knows. If you don't feel that way about this person, then you don't have to take that. It all depends on what you believe in and where you're at on the timeline with this person. So let's talk a little bit more about their life and maybe a little bit about why they might be holding back. The King coming through with the Ace of Coins. It says to me that they are a builder. They could be somebody very respected in their lane. They could possibly be in a leadership role. They don't necessarily have to be absolutely loaded, like in a business material sense, but they are absolutely, they have the potential for that. Like, they are very industrious, they are very disciplined. The way they show up in the world is almost like, I've got a kingdom to run. It's that kind of energy. They may even actually use work to numb some of their feelings. The Devil could indicate some form of addiction. It doesn't have to be in the stereotypical way. Like, they could be a workaholic. They could be somebody who is kind of hyper controlling when it comes to, like, I have to do this, I have to stick to my routines, I have to be rigid, kind of like emperor energy is what I'm getting. Or, you know, for others of them, it could be like they're just keeping busy so that they don't feel. It's those kinds of habits. They could be like married to their work or something like that. So they kind of like maybe don't let other things in at this point in their life. Five of Cups showing up with cleanse might indicate past loss. This could refer to a divorce, bereavement, a breakup, or just a big personal disappointment that they've experienced. Maybe their heart learned, like, slow down, control the variables, don't risk the castle, don't risk your empire. That's why maybe you feel the breaks here. It is not lack of interest. It's basically their nervous system telling them, like, not yet, let me clear this first. But with Gateway to Love and the Knight of Pentacles, this person is definitely like a slow burn kind of person as well. They're very methodical, they plan, they prep, and only then, only when they've done that, do they make a move. But I do think, like, when they do care, they're very loyal, they're very steady, they're very thorough. They do not rush intimacy though, especially if there is like any kind of, I guess, power dynamic that would throw the morality of this into question. I don't know whether that might apply specifically to some of you. This could be like a colleague work hierarchy. This could be like a friend of a friend that would make things complicated. There could be an age gap. It could be anything. They want it to be beyond reproach before they go ahead with anything. I do keep getting these messages about body resets, specific life stuff that might be happening for you right now. Again, with Cucumber, I always think of like skincare. I'm thinking of sleep hygiene, water tracking, and maybe for some of you guys cutting down on caffeine or sugar. I'm getting something about purging belongings. Again, that message about like something moving around in your house, maybe changing jobs or departments. There's like grief but a fresh start. I keep getting something about that. I keep getting something about breath work. I feel like some of you are also reevaluating your purpose right now. It's like you've been saying to yourself, if it doesn't evolve my soul or it doesn't evolve my bank balance, like, why am I here? Some of you guys could be really like in your bag, but you're doing it in a way that aligns with your soul. So maybe you're very much on that like building an empire king path as well. So yeah, with that meditation and with the Nine of Pentacles, it's like whatever you've been doing, whatever you've been working on, it's helping you be in your most regulated energy. And why you're under their spell is because you're coming across right now as elegant, capable, self-sufficient, and that's very hypnotic. You give this vibe of, I'm good all by myself, so if I choose you, that's special. And they clock that. As a person, the Nine of Pentacles is, I always think of her as like the independent baddie who built their garden from scratch, you know, competent, tasteful, selective, exclusive. That's you. That is the energy you radiate. With the North Node and the Nine of Cups, you activate this person's destiny muscles. They feel challenged to grow, to open up, to do things differently, take a risk on heart instead of optics. With the Nine of Cups, you are also their soft wish. You are the life that feels really good to them. And they're under your spell because with that Nine of Cups, you come across as charming, sensual, emotionally generous. You bring warmth and self-contentment. They're basically obsessed with how at ease you come across in your own skin. With emotion in the Seven of Cups, yeah, just so much water. Water everywhere. They're drowning on the inside over you, pal too. Emotions run deep even when things feel silent. And Seven of Cups, it feels like this person, they're under your spell because they're constantly on this fantasy carousel. They have daydreams, they picture alternate timelines, they think so far ahead in the future. Because again, they're a planner, like they do think into the future and they're like, what if we did this? But then they oscillate between that, having these sort of expansive, lush visions, and then they tell themselves, like, get a grip. Get a grip. No, that's not happening because they've not been shown any proof. This is somebody who tends to need, like, proof. But yeah, you will likely feel their energy waves within your body. You will sense these things in your intuition too. Their intuition is trying to get through to them. They keep snapping back with their logical mind. But yours pings too. You might experience sudden mood changes when you're around them. But I feel like you're both tapping into that number 4, the threads in that home frequency. You feel familiar. You feel safe. You somehow feel to them like a room that they have known forever and they don't know how. It's intoxicating, but it's also terrifying for them because they're not used to this. They're not used to relying on that. They're not used to using their intuition as proof. Yeah, with that High Priestess and the Devil, they are under your spell because they are repressing a lot. This is the sacred with the shadow. The High Priestess says, you know what's going on here. And the Devil says, but you doubt. And for both of you, this can show up. You can be mirroring each other's energy when it comes to this, but both of you are, maybe as an example, checking each other's socials for cryptic clues, trying to work things out, decipher things about the other person from the clues you obtain there. This could be like intense eye contact and then immediately shutting down, acting normal, pulling back, acting like, oh, that wasn't anything. Oh, I'm reading too much into that. This could be pulling cards about each other, then, telling yourself off for doing that because you're like, I shouldn't be putting all my energy into finding out about this person when surely they're not doing the same about me. I think I'm just making this up. I think I'm just exaggerating this feeling. But let me tell you, they are likely repressing a hell of a lot, and repression leaks as fixation, as obsession. That's why you feel them even when they aren't saying anything. With Trust Your Intuition and the Empress, your intuition is not being dramatic. It is pretty accurate. The Empress is why they're under your spell. It's your softness, your self-regard, your creativity, your fertility. They adore your style. I want to say that. They adore your style if they see how you dress day to day. They like your curves, if you have curves, your shape, your groundedness. They might like the way you care for the vulnerable, for animals, for children, for your people. You model empowered vulnerability. You have an open heart but a strong spine, and they want to provide and protect for you even though they know you don't need either, but they want to do it. As a tarot archetype, the Empress attracts opportunities without chasing. She births ideas into form and she makes spaces lush, and that is your field. That is the epitome of what you do, and it's why they are under your spell. With Gateway to Love and the Knight of Pentacles, barriers to intimacy, I think what this could mean is that caution keeps this person safe. With the Knight of Pentacles, this is the person who shows up every week at the same time with their groceries, with a plan. They're slow, they're consistent, they're deliberate. They build the house brick by brick rather than making these grand gestures that fizzle and flop into nothingness. As a person, the Knight of Pentacles is loyal, they're routine driven. They're not flashy and out there, but they're dependable. And I think if this progresses, it likely looks like this build-up of small, thoughtful check-ins, maybe help with practical things. That is how this person might show up. This is like a long game courtship. It might be moving a little bit too slowly for your liking, but caution is how this person feels safe. That is just the way they do things. With the Cleanse and with the Five of Cups, before they can fully step in, they must release the residual. Anything that's overdue to be released, any grief, any guilt, any old vows, any shame, particularly around failure. Cleanse doesn't just refer to like the woo-woo of like sage and salt baths. I'm sorry to reduce it to that. I totally believe in those things. Like, I cleanse myself, so I know that it is about that. I'm not like undermining those practices. But it's also like deep shadow work. We know it's not just like, whoa, I'm going to throw some sage around and have a nice bath. That's what I'm saying. It's, unsubscribing from the story that love has to cost us everything. It's dealing with our attachment wounds, things like that. You will know this yourself. You've probably done a lot of that work. And I think you will feel the shift when they've done it. The energy will go from static to grounded, and it feels like maybe they won't be as bogged down with some of this devil energy and this doubt that's showing up. Maybe you won't be internalizing that as much either, and maybe there will be slow progress. With the King and the Ace of Coins, like we say, this pairing is the builder archetype. They imagine something very real with you, maybe even something way ahead in the future, like having a business or a home together, having a project or a legacy. Ace of Coins is the seed of tangible beginnings. It's a date that turns into a regular rhythm. It's a conversation that turns into a long-term plan. It's these small investments that eventually become this shared life. The Shadow King does warn against rulership without restraint, you know, things like control, pride, image. That's the part that maybe wants to keep these feelings under lock and key. And again, this person is being called by their intuition to trust their intuition and to lead with their heart, instead of always thinking like, what's the best business decision? But in terms of what they do, pile 2, when nobody else is looking, if you are in any kind of written communication with this person, like if you're texting, they could reread your messages. They could check your socials quietly when they're by themselves. If they have you on socials or if they can access you in any way, they could daydream about you, about literally building with you with that Ace of Coins. But I think then they might get a bit angry with themselves and they tell themselves to stop with that devil, and then they remain stoic and they bury themselves in work and they return to the slow building plan with that Knight of Pentacles. They might worry this is unreciprocated, or they might worry it's inappropriate for whatever reason. Again, due to those things I mentioned, it could be like due to work or age or timing. It's like they would be mortified right now if you saw the depth of their feelings, and yet your energy is a homing beacon for them. They keep circling back to it. They keep indulging in it because there's something that keeps pulling them that way. Like, it's for a reason. They just don't know what that reason is yet, maybe. So in terms of like if and when they make a move, let's have a little chat about that, because I am seeing potential with this pile 2. Because of the Knight of Pentacles and that King showing up, movement here is measured. It feels like it has to be more strategic. So examples of how this could look, it involves them trying to like not break decorum. I don't know if that's the right word, but like they could offer to help with practical tasks. They could offer to give you a lift. They could help with boxes for an upcoming move. They could fix a problem around your house that you've mentioned. They could just happen to be where you'll be, but with like plausible deniability. They could engage with longer conversations with you that gently test the water without going into territory of like overstepping. And they could engage with clear but careful invitations. So maybe things like, oh, would you like to grab a coffee next week? I'd love to hear more about your project. If there's any structural complication wrapped up in this, they will wait for cleaner alignment, essentially. So like if they're in your workplace and it will be inappropriate, they might wait until you're in a different department. They're playing the long game here. They might wait for time or distance from an ex, or dust settling after a move or after a separation or divorce or something like that. Maybe they don't feel like it's right, like morally right yet, but they're playing the long game here. It's like they're waiting it out maybe, but I feel like they're going to be carefully testing the waters. So in terms of why you are under their skin, why they're under your spell, it's because you see through them. They feel spiritually known by you in a way they never have. It unsettles them, there's no performance needed, but they know that's special, they know that's rare. It's also because you're sovereign. With that Nine of Pentacles, you don't beg. Choosing them would be a compliment, it wouldn't be a dependency. You're under their spell because you are lush and you are intentional. You have that Empress magnetism with real world independence and competence. You also push destiny buttons in this massive way. North Node, you make them want to be brave, you make them want to be different. It feels like there's purpose to this. It's not just like any other connection. You also don't force timing. You are calm, which makes them trust the field more. So before we close up the reading, I want to give you guys some gentle advice, only if you want it, of course. But I would say with this energy, keep doing you. You know, the meditation with the Empress and the Nine of Pentacles, that is your winning formula. Whatever you've been doing, keep it up. I would say if you're open to a micro signal, maybe a warm return of eye contact, a specific compliment, a low pressure invite that preserves dignity. And also I'm getting this message that you don't have to contort the timeline. Cleanse and Five of Cups indicates that somebody needs space, and if it's aligned, it will click without anybody having to force it. So pile 2, the person under your spell is a steady builder with a kingly backbone and a secretly very big stormy heart. They are disciplined to a fault. They're kind of slow to cross lines, maybe irritatingly slow, and they are cautious because loss has taught them to be cautious. You, meanwhile, you emanate the Empress and the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. Desirable, deeply, deeply intuitive, and very purpose-driven. They do feel the past life hum. If you've ever felt that, they feel it too. They feel that fourth house comfort, that knowing, that north node nudge. They daydream of you in their fantasies, but then they resist you in real life. And then they plan. They plan when it comes to how to stop doing that, how to move to something real. They want something real and they want to do it right when they do. And whether you decide to take their hand when they finally reach, or you decide to bless it and keep walking and move on, you've already shifted this person's trajectory. You didn't cast a spell, you are the spell in this part 2. So that is what I'm getting for your reading. But I want to finish this reading with a few more confirmations from the Tea Leaf Oracle, just to end the reading with a little bit of extra clarity in case any of these things solidify that this was your pile and give you that little bit of extra insight. Okay, so we have got Unicorn, use your intuition to make beneficial changes. Okay, makes sense. We have got Gong, an exciting event. We have got Claw, be careful, do not take risks. Sounds like this person's energy. And we've got Chair filled, someone new is entering your life. Okay, that's very interesting. So with the Unicorn, use your intuition to make beneficial changes. Again, your intuition is spot on. You're their unicorn, pal too, not in a weird, like, third party way, like looking for a third way, not that kind of unicorn, but more as like this once in a lifetime energy that they haven't met before. It's like both of your inner compasses are trying to steer this closer, even if your minds, your logical minds, aren't quite making sense of it yet. With Gong, an exciting event, this is wake up call energy, a loud clang that snaps both of you out of limbo. It's somebody saying like, wake up, like wake the fuck up, look at this connection for what it is. This could also be an actual event. Ringing in the ears could be relevant for some of you guys, that's coming through. But yeah, this could be a literal event, like a works party, holiday party, a mutual gathering that might put you face to face and open the door for a real conversation. And this is the universe saying like, come on guys, come on, we've put you together, like let's talk this out, let's address the elephant in the room. We both like each other, let's stop pretending that we don't have feelings for each other. With Claw, be careful, do not take risks. Yeah, this person is risk averse. They don't want to mess this up, or they don't want to move in a way that feels careless. Under their stoic exterior, they have a shaky kind of confidence, especially if there has been like a recent loss or disappointment in their life. It's like they're kind of afraid of not matching your emotional openness, or they're afraid of accidentally hurting you. I think they're afraid of like being a monster that they don't want to be. I don't know why that is coming through. But yeah, also with Chair filled, somebody new is entering your life. Maybe a newcomer shakes the dynamic. For some, it could be like a flirty new person shooting their shot, and maybe that triggers some jealousy in this individual. So jealousy could transform into inspired action and truth. For others, it's simply a new presence that kind of shifts the energy and maybe nudges this person to step up or to speak up in some way. So bottom line here is like, trust your inner knowing, expect a catalyst moment, and don't be surprised if a new arrival stirs the pot just enough to get this moving. So that is what I'm getting for you, pal 2. I really hope you liked this reading today. If you did like the reading, please do me an absolutely huge favour. Please like the video if you get a chance. Please comment and let me know what resonated for you. Or if you don't feel comfortable, let me know what resonated. I totally get it, but commenting just helps me and it helps the algorithm push my video out there, and it just lets the algorithm know that you like this and you won't mind seeing more of it. So even if you just comment to let me know which pal you picked or which pal you're claiming, or you just leave an emoji, that is also so helpful to me. On a personal note, I'm really nosy and I just really like hearing from you guys and hearing about your stories and, you know, who this person might be. I love to spill a bit of tea with you guys. So yeah, please do that. Please hype if you get a chance, if you want to. A couple of people hyped my last video and I really appreciate that. Don't know what it does yet, don't have a clue, but if you think my video deserves a bit of hype, then give it a go. If you have hype points to spare, I don't really know how it works. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. Oh, don't forget to share and sub if you haven't done so already, and if you want to, and if you genuinely like my content, please do that. That just helps me so much as well. Yeah, with all of that said, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. Have an amazing rest of your day. Take care, and I will see you in the next one, pal 2. Hi Pal 3 Collective! If you chose the Cute Ghost Tarot and you chose this Witch's Hat sticker, you are in the correct place. Welcome to your reading, friends. This reading is titled, Who is Under Your Spell and Why? If you would like a full breakdown regarding everything this reading will entail, please check out my introduction. I go through absolutely everything there, all my disclaimers, everything like that. I will also leave some details in the pinned comment for your reference. But without any further hesitation, let's get started and have a look at the cards we pulled for you, pal 3. As usual, we're going to be using a selection of oracle cards and tarot cards today. We're diving straight into who this person is and why they are under your spell. Don't worry if not all the cards are in frame at first. I'm really struggling to get all these cards in frame, as I always do. I'm not working with much space and I'm not working with the best camera, so please bear with me if they're not in frame. I will sort it once I've laid the cards. I will make sure you can at least see everything, even if the quality is not the best. So yeah, I'm just going to move your little witch's hat to one side for now, and let's have a look at what we've got for you, pal 3. We have got Hope. And the clarifier for Hope is the 7 of Pentacles reversed. From the Moonology Oracle, we have got What Do You Need to Release? Waning Moon. And the clarifier is the Tower. Okay, don't worry, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that, not you causing tower moments in people's lives, pal 3. How did I know it was going to be this way? There's always one pile that does this. From the Green Witch Oracle, number 2, communication, P. Maybe somebody's feeling very yappy, probably me. And the clarifier for communication is the 3 of Cups. Somebody getting chatty over drinks, maybe that's relevant. From the Audacity deck, we've got the Star. That's you, pal 3. You're the Star. And the clarifier for the Star is 10 of Points. Of course it is. Of course it is. From the Wild Muse, we have got Unconscious Games. Okay. Somebody's playing, but not today. Not with you, honey. Not today, Satan. I'm going to uncover the games that they're playing in this reading. And the clarifier for Unconscious Games is the 10 of Cups. Okay. Somebody's playing games on the surface, but they're very mushy-gushy underneath it all, actually. Maybe you see through their games. The Unmasked Truths Oracle, we have got Find Direction, Mutual Understanding, Staying on Course, Difficulty with Stability. You don't say with the Tower, Difficulty with Stability. No shit. Navigate Journey, Shaky. And the clarifier for that is the 6 of Swords reversed. Okay, makes sense. From the Wandering Soul Oracle, we have got Preserve. The imagery on these two cards looks really similar. Looks like a donut. Maybe I'm just hungry. Okay, and to clarify, we have got the 5 of Wands reversed. Somebody's done arguing. From the Archetypes card, we've got Hero, Heroine, Light Attribute, Passion for a Journey of Personal Empowerment, Shadow Attribute, Escapism, and a False Sense of Heroism. And the clarifier is the Queen of Wands. Okay, I actually think they're as in frame as they're going to be. Sorry if any of the cards are a bit wonky. I hope you can see everything clearly, but I think that's the best I'm going to be able to get it. So yeah, in terms of confirmations and first impressions, the number 2 is calling to me loudly here. No, I don't mean that I need a bowel movement. I am talking about the number 2 that's showing up on the cards, in particular that communication card. So the number 2 might be significant to you in terms of a date, an age, a life path, an angel number or synchronicity you're seeing a lot of. Maybe it's somebody's birthday, maybe something to do with the month of February. I'm also thinking like astrological houses or the signs associated with the second house, or it could be something about shared synchronicity with that person. So second house relates to Taurus energy, so there could be something here about money, resources, values. These don't have to be just like items, material items of value. This can be about our own personal values and boundaries that could be at play here. It could also be about like self-worth, the way we take care of ourselves. If you guys have recently reworked your budget, or you've just raised your standards in your personal life, or you've told someone, do you know what, babe, that doesn't work for me. Hi, yes, I'm talking to you. That all relates to the second house. So yeah, values and boundaries is coming through strong here. The second house is what you keep. It's what you invest in. It's what you won't sell cheap. For some, this connection has pushed you to price your time and your heart correctly. It's forced you to price your energy correctly. It's forced somebody to value you. With the witch's hat sticker, you could be literally witchy. You could dress kind of witchy or kind of alternative. That might not be for everyone. Some of you guys could just feel like extra powerful and extra intuitive around this time of year. You could be feeling very magnetic right now. You could have recently felt like you've got some of your power and your vitality back, especially with that Queen of Wands. You could be in a little bit of a mischievous energy. It's as though some of you are saying try me, just try me. Yeah, the veil is thin, especially in October at the time of me recording this. The messages are coming through really clear and really strong, and you could feel that, like you could have internalized some of the power of that energy that's very prevalent at this time of year. And there's something about circular shapes coming through here. I think it's because of the Find Direction and the Preserve card. Somebody could have like a circular kind of tattoo. I'm seeing compasses, I'm seeing rings. I'm seeing somebody who is outdoorsy. It could be you, it could be this person, but there's something about maps, navigation, there's something about nature trails, there's something about getting lost on purpose. There's also something like when we say compass, I'm hearing something about a moral compass coming through. So yeah, again, something about your boundaries being crucial and specific to this reading. And with preserve, I'm thinking of like literal preserves, like I'm thinking of jam jars. I keep thinking of donuts, I don't know why. I'm thinking of somebody with a jammy centre. We said that, like somebody's playing games, but they've got a jammy centre with that 10 of cups. I'm thinking of mason jars. I'm thinking of meal prep tubs, Tupperware, lined up in a very specific order. This is very, very specific, but if you've been like batch cooking, if you've been meal prepping recently, or you've been labelling some of your jars today or organising, hello, this is confirmation that this is your pile. None of that has to apply. These opening confirmations are just little confirmations for specific people. If none of them apply, it doesn't mean it's not your pile. I just like to mention it at the start. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room because let's just get this over with. I was going to say let's just ignore it, but we can't. It's here. We've got the tower, so let's talk about that. This is the first big plot twist, and I'm actually seeing two potential storylines here, so please bear with me. Obviously, there are different people watching this, so it's going to depend, like, the timeline you're on. Let me just give the examples. Okay, so two different plots. The first plot point I'm seeing is that for some of you, this could very well be an ex. It could be somebody who was a long-term partner of yours. So in that instance, you were together, like official. Maybe you lived together. Maybe you shared a home or pets or kids. Maybe you were married. Maybe you were engaged. You were quite serious, right, to some capacity. And then, boom, break up, rug pulled. There's been a shock, there's been rubble, there's been grief, and now there's a slow re-entry for, I'm getting like practical reasons. So for example, if you have to co-parent with this person, or if you work together, or if you share a friendship circle, if there's a reason that you have to be in touch with them, it's like they're still under your spell. Or even if you're not really in contact and it's only like the bare minimum form of communication, but for whatever reason you do have to kind of remain like civil or communicate or be accountable to each other in some way, even if it's just like talking about like finances, like how to split your assets, or, you know, the kids, like dropping the kids off or dropping the dog off or something like that if you share a pet, like they are still under your spell. It's that person. So I do just want to say that first of all, if like that's not someone you want to hear about, you know, it could be that two things are true at once. Like if, you know, that person is coming through and they are your ex and you're not going to get back together with them, then that is valid. Like you could still gain some clarity from this, and you could also see if there's a new person coming through on a different pile if you would like to, pile 3. I just want to give you that option because I know it's disappointing when like a person from the past shows up. But yeah, that's just one story here. The second story is that this could be a mutual crush you never dated, and both of you are low-key crazy about each other, but someone here keeps playing games. So somebody is testing, they are teasing, they are doing the most, and it's kind of giving like, are they being mean to me or are they flirting? But in either case, you've caused a tower in this person's nervous system. Something you did, whether it's like detaching, glowing up, whether it's going out and dating again, whether it's the fact you stopped reacting to this person's games, it has shaken their foundation. They assumed that you would be accessible in some way forever. They assumed you would orbit forever. But suddenly you're the Queen of Wands, you're the main character, and now their ground feels wobbly. That is the basis for this reading here. So no matter who that person is, whether they are your ex, or whether you've never really been there, but maybe you did like them at one point, that is the person that's coming through. So hopefully that kind of gives you a bit more information about who this is initially. We will get into more about them, of course. But I do want to chat about why this person is under your spell, and it's because you radiate the Queen of Wands energy. You are vivid, you are vibrant, you are so funny, so radiant, you are direct. You can match energy, I think, is the thing, but you won't play a game you didn't agree to. You are warm, you're lighthearted, but you aren't anybody's fool. You have that mix of charisma and boundaries, and it's like catnip to this person. They are obsessed with it. It is addictive. They're used to people folding and you do not fold. Not easily, at least. Like, if they come playing their games with their antics, you can mirror that back to them, but you can also just drop the rope and leave them alone and make them question everything, and that is unforgettable. You give this vibe of like, don't play games with somebody who can play better. So you can play their game if you need to. It's not about being petty, it's just about matching energy. And you're like, I can even do it better. But if you don't want to play at all, it's like you will take yourself out of the running, and that is like a massive shock to their system too. But yeah, in terms of who this person is, and a little bit more about why they might be acting this way, under this person's bravado, they have massive feelings. The unconscious games and the 10 of Cups tells on them. Their core is mushy, soppy, romantic as heck. This person wants more than anything home, family, safety, legacy, but their strategy is testing. It's like this push and pull dynamic. They use banter that sometimes slides into like subtle negs or teasing. It's not always actually deliberate. It is this attachment wounding trying to protect a very soft, vulnerable heart. With fine direction and with the 6 of Swords reversed, that says to me that this person might struggle to leave old patterns. It's like they circle the same bay again and again. They want to sail forward, but something keeps anchoring them back. Maybe it's pride, maybe it's fear, maybe it's a hope that you will blink and give in first, but I don't think you will. With Preserve and with the 5 of Wands reversed, it seems like right now their energy, it's like they're making some kind of an effort to keep the peace. But in the back of their mind, they also hold something very dear to them, and that is the story that they have about you. They preserve a story about you, and it's like this golden, idealized version. It's these snapshots, maybe of memories. Even if you guys have only chatted in a deep way, like once or twice, it's like they'll replay those minutes like it's a favorite film. You know, if this is an ex, they are holding on to all your memories like they are treasure. They are refusing to let those memories go. Even if you're not really in contact right now, they ruminate on all the times that you were. In terms of the dynamic between you guys, you might actually share mutual friends, which, you know, if this is an ex, that wouldn't surprise me at all, because often when we're with somebody, their friends become our friends and vice versa. So you might be part of the same social group. There's something about you encountering this person with mutual friends, in busy rooms, at events, in like a 3 of Cups setting. And this is saying as well, in those settings, you really stand out. They're under your spell because you are bright and witty. People lean in when you speak. They want to listen to you. And on this person's side, it's like they are kind of the class clown. They're the tease. They're the cool commenter. Equal parts charming and provoking. And your dynamic could be kind of like flirty and fighty. But I'm getting something recently like you've always had a bantery relationship with this person and it felt fun until it didn't. Like recently the spice has tipped into snide. You went from being like, haha, cute, to, okay, now you're just being rude. And that's been kind of your cue that you've outgrown this game. And it's like they felt the moment you pulled your energy back. So that's kind of what's been going on as of late. There's something about jealousy coming through strongly. And I think you already clocked this, pile 3. This person likes to imply that they have a roster, except it is just performance. When they claim that they have 10 options, it's often to get a reaction from you. It's attention seeking. Meanwhile, your options are actually real. You are the Queen of Wands. Hello? But if you mirror their energy, even a little bit, they spiral. Suddenly, you're so mean, you're so cold, you're so rude because you just matched what they were offering. You know, a classic example of this is if you dress up and you're looking really, really stunning and you mention you have plans, they might show their jealousy by making a negative comment about your outfit, like, oh, what are you even wearing? Because they're fuming at the idea of you going out and being seen and looking good and having people flirt with you. Maybe they're terrified of this idea of you going on a date. It's like this person, they're so confusing because they want to be your hero, but instead they play the villain because vulnerability terrifies them. Like this person could make flirty little jibes trying to get you to bite back and trying to get your attention because they like when you bite, but they maybe took it too far or maybe they overstepped. They went outside their boundaries and you were like, okay, like I'm done with this now, you're going too far. It's that sort of thing. Now, a more specific scenario, if this is your ex, let's say, just as one example, if you are co-parenting or you're pet sharing, maybe you ask to swap a day and they say yes because they're trying to be amicable, they're trying to show you like, look, I'm this good family person, I have your best interests at heart, see, like, I'm a decent person. And then they learn you're not just going to an appointment or you're not just going out with your friends, you're going on a date, which you're allowed to do because you and them aren't together anymore, like there's no obligation to this person. And suddenly they make life difficult for you. They're like, well, actually I can't. And you're like, why? Like, you said it was fine, you said you could look after them on this day, and they're like, well, I can't now. And they're just being petty. Is it fair? No. Is it about control? Yes. And why? Because they are still in love with you. As much as they can be, obviously, you know, I don't know your personal situation, pal 3, but they're making life hard. You think it's because they hate you, and I could see how it would be perceived that way, but they don't. They are just obsessed with you. They can't let you go. They can't bear the thought of you being loved by somebody else. And the thought of you with somebody else makes them absolutely unhinged. Again, though, I'm not endorsing this behaviour. I'm just reading it from their perspective. I'm not saying that they're right to behave this way. I'm not saying that they're not toxic. I'm not saying that you have to give them any opportunity to communicate with you. I'm just talking and using that as an example. Like, you will know if that has been going on for you with that person, if they're trying to make your life difficult, more difficult than it needs to be. That is why, like, that's just where I'm coming from here. I'm just trying to offer clarity, not saying that you have to do anything with that information when it comes to this person. I'm just spilling the tea on where they're at. With Hope and with the 7 of Pentacles reversed, it feels like they've been hanging in this long limbo for a period of time. Hope says to me that they never quite let go. Like, even if this was an official breakup, I think even if you guys don't have an obligation to each other, even if you decided like this is done, we're going to see other people, I think they were secretly holding out the hope that you would find your way back to each other. Like, maybe they thought, you know, well, pal 3 will come back to me eventually, or we'll work things out. Maybe they never actually thought that the reality would be that either of you would be moving on. Maybe they thought that was still a game. Like, maybe when you ended things, or you said like, I'm done here, we're not talking, we're not going to pursue this further, whatever way this played out, maybe in the back of their mind they thought, oh, pal 3 is just playing with me, like, we're going to come back to each other. It's always going to be us. Like, they were still holding on to that and they never really let that go. But 7 of Pentacles reverse says to me the patience maybe on your end ran out. You stopped waiting for potential and you started investing in your harvest. And that exact moment, annoyingly, frustratingly, I hate this for you, that's when they realised what you meant to them. Which isn't fair. Like, they should have realised to begin with, and I get that. And I can understand, like, if you guys are frustrated by this, pal 3. And yeah, with that waning moon showing up with the Tower, this is essentially the spiritual bulldozer that needed to happen for them. This is the thing that they needed to start releasing the games, releasing the one-day story that they were carrying with them, releasing the hope that somebody else will blink and back down first. The Tower is uncomfortable but necessary demolition. It's old scaffolding that has to fall so real structure can rise. Essentially here, this is saying like your detachment triggered their awakening. But I think on your end, you're thinking like it shouldn't have taken that for them to wake up, which I get. So in terms of communication and the 3 of Cups, maybe there's something about like when you guys are forced to communicate, maybe there are other people around, so maybe it either has to be kept cordial or maybe somebody makes subtle digs, but it's not entirely obvious. Like, people are still sort of playing games. There's not a conversation. There's not things said that need to be said. I'm getting this sense that talk might happen in clusters around mutual friends at events, maybe through your DMs after you post a story with people. In a 3 of Cups room, I get the sense you are this charismatic speaker. You are this warm host. I'm getting the sense that people gravitate to your table. And on their end, they could be witty as well, a little provocative. I wouldn't be surprised if they were watching you over their glass, baiting you into a little bit of banter. I'm getting that they're under your spell because your voice, your content, your cadence, your conviction cuts through the noise. It stands out to them. You've always been the star to them. It's always you. That's what I'm hearing. It's always you. Yeah, talking about that star with the 10 of Pentacles, you are the North Star. This isn't just crush energy, this is vision. With the 10 of Pentacles, you are like the legacy, the home, the stability they yearn for. This talks about combining resources. This is a life they want to share with you, where they can point and say, like, we built that, we did that together. There's something about this person wanting to prove that they can make it with you because the odds were against you guys, or things got in the way, and they want to prove that you can do it, that you can make it. I don't know why, but I'm hearing You're Still the One by Shania Twain, like the lyrics in that song. That could be relevant for somebody, but it's like they want to make it with you. They want to make it through. They want to prove that they can, that this building wasn't for nothing. The Three of Cups could be like other people communicating things that get in the way. Like if this was a breakup or something, this could be about people taking sides. This could be about gossip. This could be about people overstepping and oversharing things that maybe they shouldn't get involved in. If this relates to friends, something like that, of course, that doesn't have to apply. But yeah, stability, as much as they yearn for it, it also scares them. This person is under your spell because they read you as stability. For some, that's literal. Maybe you are doing well financially, you're organized, you're building your life brick by brick. But even if money isn't the point here, your emotional stability is. You are regulated, you're consistent, you're a safe base. And they look at you and they see foundations. They see the person they could build a home with. And that is exactly what terrifies them, especially if their childhood, if their home life was chaotic, or if they've watched things crumble before. Having that sense of like, this is everything I've ever wanted, that can poke at old wounds, because real investment equals real risk of loss. So it's like their nervous system tries to pre-protect by pulling back, by testing, by playing games, by being avoidant. It's not that they don't want it. You're exactly what they want. Like, they're saying you are it for them. We've got the star. Like, come on. There's nobody else. It's that wanting it this much wakes up to the fear that it could be taken away at any moment. And that is the push-pull dynamic that you are sensing and you are very familiar with from them. You know every step in their playbook. You know it by heart. I don't have to tell you this. You're familiar with all their games, conscious and unconscious. But with unconscious games and the Ten of Cups, underneath the testing is somebody who does want the Ten of Cups. They don't want to admit they want it though. They might say romance, effort makes them cringe. The reason it makes them cringe so badly, the reason why they're affected by it so much, is because they're uncomfortable with the idea that that's what they want on a deep soul level. They don't want to recognize that though. But yeah, they want the shared joy, they want the found family, they want the everyday tenderness. They pine for it and they sabotage it in the same breath. Again, unconscious patterns playing out. They're used to shortcuts and you won't allow them to take shortcuts. And that's why you're the spell and you're also the mirror. That's why you provoke this reaction in them, is because they can't bypass the healing that they need to do when it comes to you. They can't avoid it forever. The only way around it is through it. With Fine Direction and the Six of Swords reverse, they know the route forward. They know that it's going to have to mean honesty, vulnerability, directness, but they keep looping the bay. They keep going around it, and that's because of their ego. It's because of their pride. It's because of old pain, things they need to release. They haven't quite let go of that. This is this element of like, I don't want to let go, but I don't know how to move on. That push and pull, that combo. Circular shapes again, compass imagery, going round in circles. This is saying they need to pick a true north. Preserve and the Five of Wands reverse, they do want less conflict. They want more keeping. They want to keep the peace. They want to keep their memories. They want to keep you within reach. But avoiding all friction can become another game. You know, real intimacy needs a space to air conflict and get things out in the open and to cleanse and release. There doesn't need to be this silent stewing, but they need to admit, you know, why they have these strong feelings in the first place. And with the hero and the heroine and the Queen of Wands, they want to be your hero. I don't know why, but I'm picturing like, is it the Enrique Iglesias song where at the beginning he's like whispering, let me be your hero? I can imagine this person like saying something like that, but then cracking up, like finding themselves really cringe. Maybe they used to joke like that. Like if they ever said anything romantic to you, it was always like kind of put forward as a joke. Not that they didn't have those feelings for you, but like they couldn't, maybe they struggled to be serious when it came to stuff like that. But yeah, deep down they want to be your hero, but equally you don't need saving. What you do is you inspire. You know, the Queen of Wands is confident, she's playful, she's fiercely loyal, she's allergic to bullshit. You will hype your people and you will torch a bridge if someone disrespects you and yours. And this person is obsessed with your courage and the way you light up a room without trying. You are truly that definition of somebody who lights up a room. I just want to say that, pile 3. And if they really want to be your hero, it's by not slaying these pretend dragons. It's by showing up consistently and actually communicating like an adult and matching your warmth with action, not circling around the bay trying to get a reaction, trying to put their little bait out and get you to bite. That's not what being a hero is. So to talk a little bit more about why they are still hooked, essentially you dismantled their old operating system with that tower. You refused to wait with the Seven of Pentacles reversed. You speak to their future self, the Star and the Ten of Pentacles, and their inner child, the Ten of Cups. And you won't take the bait anymore with that Five of Wands reverse, which forces them to confront their own bait. Also, you're genuinely fun. They have always had so much fun with you. Your laugh, your quick comebacks, your way with people, they miss that. They miss your energy generally. And I want to say where this could go if you're open, I would expect some kind of social catalyst. Gatherings, birthdays, work dues, where conversation might be able to go deeper than usual. Maybe drinks are flowing, maybe certain beverages or substances are involved. I know that won't apply to everyone, but sometimes that does sort of clear the way for the awkwardness to be put to one side and, you know, to break through the tension. So that is possible. There could be a cleaner apology. That's possible once pride softens here. They could actually say to you, like, you know, I was playing around and I ended up pushing you away. I would like to try being real. And if they do step up, it might look like less performative jealousy, more steady effort, fewer tests, more clarity, and flirting that stays kind instead of pushes you too far. And if they stay in their little games, the spell continues, but as a lesson, not as a love story. You do not have to carry it. So in terms of gentle advice, only if you want to take it, pal 3, I would say keep your Queen of Wands boundaries and your second house values intact. Invest where the energy is reciprocated. If you are open to this person, which I'm not sure if you are, and you certainly don't have to be, it's going to be different for everyone, but I would say a neutral, no game signal could work. A sincere compliment, a clear, this is what works for me boundary, or a gentle redirect when banter slides into rudeness. And compliment doesn't have to be anything that's like excessive. It could just be if this person starts to try harder and make more effort to, I guess, be more agreeable, but also more honest. You could thank them for that. You could say, like, thank you for being open to have an honest conversation. That is what I've wanted all along. That is just one example. Obviously, it's going to depend where you're at with this person and whether you want to open the lines of communication. Some of you don't, and that is absolutely valid. I'm just reading energies, and what I see, it's going to be different for everyone. Or if this is an ex, even with shared responsibilities, you could use document agreements and keep it very business-like. Be firm with them, loving to yourself, and don't let them catch you off guard if they're still insistent on this gameplay and energy. Make sure that you have like everything you need to back your own story up and keep yourself safe. So like any documents, any screenshots, keep it for professional, don't be reactive if it gets to that place where they are still like testing. So pile 3, somebody here is definitely a secret softie wrapped in this very teasy energy. They wanted to be your hero, but they got scared, then they played the villain, and then they accidentally crowned you as the person who won't fold, won't test, won't beg. You became the star. That reorientated their compass, it flipped them upside down, and now they're questioning their entire life, their home, a potential legacy, and investing in a future that actually means something. They're still finding themselves, but I hope they can meet you where you're at. Whether they rise to meet you or they keep circling the bay, you've already done the most Queen of Wands thing possible. You chose yourself, and that, more than any spell, is what keeps them absolutely enchanted. So that is what I'm getting for your reading, pal 3. Let's close this reading by looking at the tea leaf oracle for a few extra quick confirmations just to wrap your reading up. Okay, pal 3, so we have dogs getting together with friends. We have purse, pay attention to your finances. We have got pale, time to get out of a situation. And we have got pineapple, a reconciliation, okay. So with dogs getting together with friends, maybe dogs are relevant to this connection. Like I said, if you share a pet, maybe it's a dog, maybe you both like dogs, maybe you bond over dogs. But with it talking about friends, I would say this is a confirmation of you like expecting a social catalyst, something about mutual friends, a gathering, or group plans that might put you face to face and soften some of the tension. Friend influence could be present for better or for worse. Also, I'm also getting this message of like, they might bark like a dog, they might present themselves as a player, but underneath they're just a soft little puppy who low-key loves when you take the lead. They just want their belly rubbed. They're under your spell partly because you're bossy and feisty, and that kind of turns them to jelly a little bit. With purse, pay attention to your finances. Yeah, those second house vibes are coming through again. You might be budgeting, you might be saving, you might be pricing your time higher, your energy higher. On their side, maybe finances are a sore spot for them right now. Maybe them wanting to be like the hero or provider, but feeling like they can't match your level of stability yet. Money talk or value alignment could be key before this moves in any upward direction. With pale, time to get out of a situation. Somebody here could be pale. Maybe somebody needs to take vitamin D. I know that pale isn't spelled like that, but I don't know, that just came through. Somebody could be looking pale, like maybe somebody's coming down with something. That's an extra confirmation. But I think this refers to like you want to be out of this snide banter loop with this individual. It can't go on how it is. You want to be out of this test, react, test cycle that keeps going in that circular direction. Like something's got to give here. And that doesn't mean you have to date them, but I think at the very least you guys need a clean conversation or a clean exit that clears the static so you're not at war with each other by default, because that just can't continue. It's not good for either of you. And with pineapple, a sweet reunion energy is possible. Some of you are planning to reconcile. Some of you have been eating a lot of pineapple. You know what that means. And don't play dumb. Don't play games with me, pal 3. Nobody likes pineapple that much. I love pineapple too, but if you're sat there eating a punnet of it before you go and meet up with this person, I know there's only one reason for that. So don't lie to me, pal 3. I see you. That's not for all of you, but yeah, if you're planning to reconcile or you just know you'll cross paths, things could get spicy. Somebody might literally be on a fruit kick or, you know, just prepping for this meeting, just eating their fruit, just innocently eating 10 whole pineapples. Either way, communication came out strongly in your spread, so a real talk here does feel likely. And for some of you, you know, even if you know part of this edges into toxic, it could be that the spice is what keeps pulling you back. Like the fights are intense, but the makeups are also intense. It's giving pressure valve energy. And we've been feeling that throughout the whole reading. There needs to be a release of the tension here. Release keeps coming through, preferably an honest and heart-led conversation first. And for some, yes, the physical kind of release too, because maybe it's always on point with this person. That could apply if you've been there with that person. Might not apply for everyone. I just want to mention the P theme that's coming out. We have 3 Ps coming out here: pineapple, purse, pale, and puppies if we change dogs to puppies. The letter P might be a name initial for you or for them. It could be a place, or it's just you saying like, this person is peeing me off. Noted. The energy is shifting towards peace and progress, another P, and it's your choice which P you pick. And if you want to just say piss off to this person, then that's fine as well. But bottom line, a friend-linked meetup might open the door. Money and values want clarity here. The game loop needs to end, and a reconciliation is on the table if you want it. Sweetened but not forced. That is important. So that is what I'm getting for your reading, pal 3. I really hope you enjoyed this reading today. If you did like the video, please give me the thumbs up. Please comment if you get a chance. Let me know what resonated. On a personal note, I just really love hearing from you guys. I love you guys spilling the tea, telling me what hit home for you, if anything did. Sometimes it feels like I'm speaking into the void. So I love when people actually confirm that like a particular message was for them. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, please just leave me a comment with an emoji or let me know what pal you picked. Claim your pal if you would like to. It just helps the algorithm recommend my videos when you provide me with a little bit of engagement. Feel free to hype the video if you would like. A few of you hyped my last video and I am so bloody grateful for that. I don't really know what it does, but I'm assuming it's helping push the word out there about my channel, and I do really appreciate it. So only if you genuinely really liked the content, please do that. If you have hypes to spare, please share and sub if you get a chance, if you haven't already. With all of that said, I just want to thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one, pal 3. Hi Powerful Collective, if you chose the Pacific Northwest Tarot and you chose this pumpkin kitty sticker, you are in the correct place. Welcome to your reading, friends. This reading is titled Who is Under Your Spell and Why? If you would like a full breakdown regarding everything this reading will entail, please check out my introduction. I go through absolutely everything there, disclaimers and all. I will also leave some details in the pinned comment below for your reference so you know what to expect in this reading today. But without any further hesitation, let's get started and have a look at the cards we pulled for you today, pile 4. As usual, we're going to be using a selection of oracle cards and tarot cards, and we're going to be diving straight into who this person is and why they are under your spell once we've laid the cards. Don't worry if not all of the cards are completely in frame at first. Right now it was really hard for me to get all of these cards in frame. I've discovered that with the readings I have done today, but yeah, don't worry, I'll lay them and then I will sort it because I want you to be able to see all of the cards as clearly as possible. The quality isn't the best, I'm not working with the best camera and I'm not working with the most space, so please bear with me. But yeah, let's have a look. I'm just going to move your little pumpkin kitty to one side for now. So starting over here from the Modern Witch Spiritual Oracle, we have Conflict. That's interesting because that came through in one of the piles in my last reading. And this deck was very well shuffled. Conflict is giving me enemies to lovers, I'm not going to lie. The clarifier for Conflict is the Queen of Cups reversed. Okay. From the Moonology Oracle, we have got New Moon in Taurus, prosperity lies ahead. Some of you could be Taurus moons, or this person could be Hello Twin. That is my moon sign. The clarifier for that is death. Intense. Maybe there's something about the Scorpio Taurus axis here, which is interesting because I'm a Scorpio sun and Taurus moon. Maybe there's something like that in your chart, like your sun is opposite your moon, or your sun is like opposing this person's sun or moon or something like that. It could be something to do with birth charts, astrology, you guys' synastry. From the Green Witch Oracle, we have got number 23, Abundance, great. And the clarifier is the 5 of Pentacles. That's like opposing energy as well, isn't it? We'll get to that, don't you worry. From the Audacity deck, we have the Cold Shoulder. Okay, somebody's giving somebody the cold shoulder. We'll find out more about that too. And the clarifier is the 5 of Wands. Okay. You guys might have been at each other's throats. Somebody might have got the claws out. From the Wild Muse Oracle, we have got Upside Down. I think you've turned this person's life upside down, maybe. And the clarifier is the Page of Wands. From the Unmasked Truths Oracle, we have got Great Outdoors, Outings and Activities, Has a Changing Nature, Fleeting Connection, Short Affair, Active, Fun. And the clarifier is the Chariot. From the Wandering Soul Oracle, we've got Mortality. That's nice. Very on theme for the time of year, very Halloween-y vibes. And the clarifier is the Tower. Of course. We got the Tower in pile 3, by the way. Don't know whether you guys want to check that out, but not my pile 4's causing tower moments for people. Definitely a powerful energy pile 4. And the archetype card we have for you is Samaritan. Light attribute, refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. Shadow attribute, exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. And the clarifier for Samaritan is the King of Pentacles. This deck is so beautiful, by the way. Some of you guys could be animal lovers or nature lovers if you chose this deck. Some of you could have like an animal tattoo. I'm thinking of like cat themes, ocean themes, woodland themes, maybe mushroom tattoo. Maybe some of you are into foraging or mushroom collecting. That's just a random confirmation. Anyway, let me check to see if the cards are in frame. Okay, the cards are as much in frame as I can get them, I think. Hopefully you can see them all. Again, I'm sorry if the quality isn't the best. But yeah, in terms of confirmations and first impressions, the number 23 or the numbers 2 and 3 could be significant to you guys. And this might be relevant in terms of a date, an age, a birthday, a month, an angel number or synchronicity you are seeing a lot of, an astrological house or the sign associated with that house, or it could be in terms of shared synastry with this person that we're going to be talking about. We have themes of the second house and Taurus coming up in pile 3. So those could be themes surrounding values, money, self-worth, boundaries. Like I said, some of you could be Taurus moons, or some of you could be born around a new moon in Taurus specifically. Some of you guys could be in this energy where you are raising the bar when it comes to your expectations and your values. I'm also getting something about third house and Gemini coming through. So themes surrounding communication style being significant, siblings, neighbours, local travel or early education. One of these things could be relevant to you. So for example, this person could be close by, maybe you live in the same town or you live a short distance away, a bus journey, a car journey, a train journey away. This person could literally live in your area. They could be your neighbour. Some of them, you might know them through school. They could be a colleague in early education, for example, or they could be a parent at a workplace if you work in the education field or something like that. I'm also getting a little bit of fifth house energy because 2 + 3 = 5. See, I can do maths. And I didn't even use my fingers for that, so you should be proud of me, Pal. But yeah, there's something about Leo, glow-ups, romantic vibes, something about that being activated, something also about competition. Maybe somebody has entered a competition. There's something about somebody being a winner. And yeah, great symbolism. That reminds me of like harvest and abundance. It makes me think of Dionysus. It makes me think of the Christian symbolism of rebirth. It makes me think of like the Victorian symbolism, so friendship, abundance, connection, transformation, all of that is woven into this energy. The great outdoors, maybe somebody is an outdoorsy person, could be you, could be them. There's something about hiking, camping, road trips, and this might be very specific, but maybe you encountered this person at an outdoor event. It could have been a summer event. This card is reading very summery for me. Obviously, we have just moved from summer to autumn, but there's something about like a teepee or a tent or a gazebo. Maybe somebody had like a tent wedding or a barbecue, or there was like a neighborhood party, or just a flower heavy garden arrangement, something with a lot of flowers or nature around. That could mark your last notable interaction with this person. That doesn't have to apply. Again, these are very specific confirmations. I just like to mention them at the start of the reading. None of these have to apply for this to be your pile though. I'm also getting something about skull imagery, maybe a skull tattoo, maybe a skull on a shirt, maybe it's like a band tattoo. I'm getting something about bright pink hair, maybe thigh-high pink boots. This upside down card, I'm not going to lie, it's like giving me strip club vibes. So that could be relevant for somebody. So let me talk about the general energy here. In general, the energy to me right now is reading as tension and fascination. It is giving like enemies to lovers. I think I said that. If this was a trope, I would say like enemies to lovers, or at least sparring partners with chemistry. So if that rings a bell in terms of you and this person, you are definitely in the right place. So let's have a little chat about who this person is and how you might know them. This is someone who tries to get under your skin deliberately, and sometimes they succeed. I get that impression. You and this person butt heads in some way. They debate, they tease, they challenge, but underneath all of that, they have a huge fascination with you and they don't quite know how to manage it. This gives me the vibe of like, they don't know whether they want to be you or be on you. It's that sort of energy. I'm not going to lie, what this reminds me of, I'm not saying it's this exact scenario, but you know films like Single White Female, where somebody is so obsessed with somebody that they literally want to like almost destiny swap or embody that person's life. It's giving that, and like in those films often the, I guess, villain, the person who is trying to take over the main character's life, they will often do things in an extreme way just to be like closer to the person who they are trying to emulate. So for example, they might try and like sleep with that person's partner or something along those lines, and it's not really about them wanting to sleep with the person's partner because they want the partner. It's more like they want to understand the main character, or they want to be in the main character's shoes, or they want to be closer to the main character, so they will go to these extreme lengths to like be in their shoes, be in their life. I'm not saying this is as extreme as that, but it's like the things they do, you wouldn't have thought that they were attempting to get closer to you, but they actually are in their weird way, but it's a way that maybe doesn't make sense. So that's just what I mean, like they do strange things, but it's actually to get your attention and actually to be closer to you in this bizarre way. But there is a strong physical component to this. There's a lot of strong physical attraction. It just doesn't show up in obvious ways, maybe because of context. So for example, if this is a workplace, or this is someone in your social circle, or there are certain cultural expectations, or somebody's relationship status is involved in this, for some of you, it's like this attraction gets disguised as rivalry or as banter that tips into the avenue of being a bit petty. I'm also getting something about cute aggression showing up. Basically, cute aggression, it's when something is so cute and compelling that the brain kind of short circuits and expresses it with like being tense or having like clenched fists or gritted teeth. That is this person with you, basically. They are overwhelmed by this positive charge and they act out with like pokes and nips instead of clean, straightforward vulnerability. In some cases, this will not be for everyone. I just want to mention it because it might be relevant for somebody. This is a same-sex dynamic where there's mutual tension, but they haven't named their desire even to themselves or publicly, so it comes out sideways. It like manifests as competition. In other scenarios, you guys could be taken, you could be in a committed relationship, and it's like, since this person can't have you, they will settle for getting a rise out of you, even if it means like arguing with you for no reason. It's something like that. I'm not gonna lie, this feels like unhealed water sign energy. No shade whatsoever if you have heavy water energy. I'm a water sign myself. I'm getting strong Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces placements around this person. This is big feelings, tidal attachment, protectiveness, a little jealousy too, and that classic water tendency to go like passive aggressive when overwhelmed. You know, when regulated, water is really, really nurturing and magical. When unhealed, it can come out very sideways. It can come out in some not so nice ways, and that kind of matches this sort of hot and cold bait and banter dynamic that you might be seeing with this individual. So why they are under your spell? You are the calm in your own storm, pal 4. You are grounded, you are abundant, you are values-led. You don't need anybody's applause or validation to know your worth. You match energy when needed, but you don't live in scarcity. You have this quiet confidence and you have this emotional regulation that's hypnotic to somebody who rides emotional waves and somebody who kind of yearns for constant credit like this person might. And you also don't crumble when they act up. That makes you unforgettable, and it's infuriating in this way that they actually find ridiculously hot and attractive. I do think you're a catalyst for this person. I think you both kind of rub each other up the wrong way in different ways. I would say some patterns you've probably noticed with this person is that they're moody, they're dysregulated. One day they could be cordial with you and the next day they're kind of chilly, they're making digs and making snide little comments, they're giving you the cold shoulder and you're like, what the fuck is happening here? And they might also have a bit of a martyr vibe. This is the kind of person who would be like, you know, I do everything for everyone and nobody ever helps me, whilst refusing to set their own boundaries and be accountable, and whilst refusing the help that they claim that nobody offers. This person could also be kind of praise hungry. You know, they want their good deeds noticed, they want them acknowledged, they want to be this Samaritan, but they feel the need to like broadcast. Like, this is the kind of person who would make a video of themselves giving food to a homeless person because they want someone to acknowledge and tell them they're a good person, because they can't regulate that for themselves. You might notice a bit of a jealousy spike with this person. They might really struggle when you get recognition. They have that kind of scarcity thinking, telling them that your win equals their loss instead of acknowledging like there's room for everybody at the table. And they might set you up like with certain tests. They might bait you to react. And if you don't, they either escalate things or they sulk and pull away. But underneath all of that is this admiration and desire that really scares them. So let's have a look at the cards in a bit more depth here, pal 4. With conflict and with the Queen of Cups reversed, yeah, emotional dysregulation. They feel a lot, they do feel a lot, and they don't always contain it very well. They could be a bit messy with it. So it might pour out as snark or sulking or accidental meanness. The Queen of Cups reverse can also indicate codependency and blurred boundaries, somebody who does too much and then resents others for not matching a standard that nobody agreed to in the first place. This can also indicate somebody who picks fights as a way to feel close because they need emotional intensity to some degree, even if it's in a negative way. There might be a bit of a drama causer. With prosperity lies ahead and with death, very powerful combo. New moon in Taurus wants you aligned with values and prosperity, and death says that an old way must end for that to happen. So for you guys, you are leveling up, maybe financially, maybe in terms of your own self-worth, and that shift threatens their status quo. This could be saying both of you are stubborn. Somebody is stubborn about change, but you're already in it. But it's like your upgrade is kind of their ego death. It's like there's something about two sides of the same coin, opposites with similarities, but in as many ways as you might be similar, you are so, so different. This feels like actually you guys have a lot of the same traits. Like, you could be sister signs, you know, like how Scorpio and Taurus are, but it's like you are maybe further along your journey of evolution, so maybe you embody more of the quote evolved traits, and maybe this person is still struggling with some wounding, so they might show up as more of the unevolved traits. Because no sign is bad or good. Like, obviously that was just one example. That might be relevant for somebody here. But with abundance and the Five of Pentacles, grape represents harvest, joy, transformation, and Five of Pentacles, as we know, represents lack. And that's the polarity between the two of you. You radiate abundance and they operate from scarcity, and it's why they watch you, they study you, and sometimes they deeply envy you. But the medicine of the grape is connection and softening. They keep isolating when they're jealous instead of reaching for that warmth and recognizing that the abundance is for everybody. Also, with grapes making me think of like Dionysus, there's something about boundary dissolving revelry here. So no wonder the attraction feels really, really intoxicating and a little bit chaotic on their end. Yeah, the cold shoulder and the Five of Wands is that enemies to lovers trope unlocked. You know, sparring, competitiveness, tit for tat. It started as like flirty and fiery and tipped into petty. But if you stop reacting, they escalate the antagonism or they go silent. Either way, it's attention seeking from somebody who wants your gaze on them. They want you to acknowledge them. They want you to validate them. There is so much admiration and respect wrapped up in this, but it manifests in a very odd way on the surface. With Upside Down and the Page of Wands, the spicy schmectual current is not subtle here at all. It's like I was saying, Upside Down gives me like pole and strip club vibes. But yeah, Page of Wands is impulsive, coy, show-offy. They want to impress you, they want to turn your world upside down, they want to prove something physically to you, they want to like rock your world and get validation for it. So it's like desire and approval and performance are really fused together here. With Great Outdoors and with the Chariot, this is about movement and pursuit. Outdoor settings, hikes, festivals, weddings, barbecues are likely encounter points for you and this person. Chariot is action with control. They want to charge towards you and they want to hold the reins tight. It could also point to local travel. This person feels really like physically close to you. I would expect them to keep orbiting events where you will be. And yeah, with Mortality and the Tower card, you are this person's lightning bolt. You know, the Tower equals sudden and unavoidable truth. Mortality, it makes me think like they're saying life's too short to play pretend. So maybe your boundary or your detachment in this jolted them. And it was kind of this ego death, existential moment where they said to themselves like, why am I like this? Why do I go on these spirals? Why do I react so over dramatically and push people away? Like, when all you were doing power 4 was maybe protecting your values. This is like their chance to rebuild something honestly or double down on old rubble, and I don't know what it's going to be for them. I really don't. With that Samaritan and with the King of Pentacles, the Samaritan in the shadow energy wants applause for helping. The King of Pentacles wants to be seen as a solid provider. This person may genuinely want to show up for you, but motivations blur into this energy where they're like, notice me, give me validation, praise me, look at me, acknowledge me. Meanwhile, you show up as the true King of Pentacles. You show up as steady, dignified, not pressed. They envy and they crave proximity to that grounded competence because they just do not have that level of control and mastery that you do, and they want access to it, and they feel like maybe they can get that by being closer to you, by mirroring you, by emulating you. But I think they struggle to admit that even to themselves. So in terms of like specific dynamics, some examples of specific things that might tell you who this person is, this could be somebody who they overwork or they overshare, and then they kind of punish you for not immediately matching this unspoken intimacy or level of effort. This could be like you, for example, setting a reasonable boundary. So if this is a work connection, you could say like, let's keep it professional, like stop flirting with me, like that comment crossed a line or something like that. And then they spiral into hurt or anger. Then they're suddenly framing you as cold. They're acting like you've done the worst thing possible to them and playing victim. They're flying off the handle like, oh, well, we won't speak then. Oh, we just won't speak at all. Like, they make it so dramatic for no reason. This person could try to impress you with credentials or with purchases, with superficial things, and maybe when they did this, you didn't care. You were like, okay. And now they're sort of rethinking why they equate their own worth with material achievements. They're learning that that doesn't impress everybody the way they thought it did. And within that, they're questioning, like, why do I feel the need to impress everybody outside of myself with all these external things? That could have been their tower moment and their ego death. This person, as another example, they might have a tendency to offer lots of opinions. They might try and keep the room spinning because silence with you feels too vulnerable. It feels like they're out of their depth, they're drowning. You spin them around. You've like turned their life upside down. Powerful. So why they're hooked on you, why they're under your spell? You don't compete. Your only competition is yourself, and you belong to yourself. That is intoxicating to someone who is stuck in that mode of comparison. You are also abundant where they feel they are lacking. They feel like you have everything: money, self-worth, emotional regulation, whatever it is. It might be one, it might be multiple of these things, but they feel like you have everything they want and they want to be closer to you to figure out how to get it, but they also deeply desire you in this very physical way. Again, they don't know whether they want to be you or be on you. They're still hooked because you are not impressed by performance, you're only impressed by integrity. You raising your standards is both addictive and terrifying. And also what I want to say is that they're hooked because the physical chemistry here is just ridiculous. They might not know how to name it, but it's crazy. Like, it's crazy intense. You can probably feel it bubbling up. And the more you detach from the pettiness, the louder their feelings get. But they might show up in the form of resentment, frustration, anger, picking you apart because they don't know what to do with the intensity of this chemistry. Maybe they can't act on it, so they're like, I'm just going to get Powerful's attention in any way they can. If that means like pulling their ponytail, I'm going to do that. It's childish, it's immature, but that's this person. That's what's coming through. If I were to give an example of this dynamic, this is giving like a troll who comments on all your videos, but they're actually secretly a fan. Like, it's giving fan energy, it's giving secret admirer. I'm thinking of the new song by Taylor Swift, like Actually Romantic. It's actually romantic how much attention they give you and how much they think of you. It's kind of like somebody commenting it on your videos being like, this is a pile of shit. And you're kind of like, okay, well, you sat and watched it for 2 hours and you cared enough to leave a comment, so sounds more like you're a fan because you keep going back and commenting on my videos. It's that kind of thing. So I don't know whether you return the feelings for this person. Obviously, this is more about their energy towards you and how they truly feel. But in terms of if or how you could shift this energy if you wanted to, Powerful, if you are open to it. Obviously, if you're not, just ignore this portion. I think a real conversation is needed, so no more tests. Somebody stating their boundaries in simple language. If they can meet you there, something workable emerges. And if not, you will know very quickly. If they are not ready to receive that, you will know. I'm thinking also like neutral ground, so social and outdoor events could be catalyst moments in furthering this connection. If they're capable of repair, you might see small and consistent behaviour, less negging and more being amicable, more showing respect. If you feel the need to keep your distance, if this is like a work scenario or something, maybe this is just you focusing on keeping things professional, keeping things brief, stating your boundaries, knowing that you are not their unpaid therapist, if that applies. And if they want access, this is about them knowing that they'll need to trade competition for cooperation. They'll need to trade praise chasing for genuine acts of service. They will need to trade performance for presence. So, Powerful, you have someone here who is equal parts sparring partner and secret admirer. They study you, they test you, they're fascinated by you, they tease you, and underneath it all, they're really overwhelmed by how much they desperately crave your approval and your touch. Your abundance and boundaries are the spell. You are steady where they swirl round and round in circles. You are sovereign where they seek applause and praise. You are kind where they are reactive. You've already triggered their tower and you've already triggered that sense of like life is too short. Whether they rebuild as a grounded King of Pentacles beside you or whether they keep chasing validation and picking fights, that isn't your shit to fix, essentially. You just keep choosing your values, your peace and your harvest. But that is also why they can't look away, and that is why they're under your spell. So that is what I'm getting for your reading, Powerful. We are just going to finish this reading by looking at a few tea leaf cards for some extra confirmation and clarity for specific individuals. So let's have a look at what we pulled for you. Okay, Powerful, we have got Teapot. Deep friendship with someone of the same sex. Did I not say same sex was coming up? That's for somebody. That has to be for somebody. It might not be for you. That's for somebody though. I feel like this whole reading has been tea, very tea spilly. We have got Sun, happiness and well-being. Definitely that Leo coming through. We have got marriage, okay. And we have got Vine, seek out information that will help you. So with teapot, yeah, that same-sex rendezvous or magnetic pull, some of you have felt that is validated. However, if it's not that, this could also indicate a same-sex ally may hold helpful context or tea. They might have gossip about this situation. You know, think a colleague or a friend who can sort of quietly clarify what's really going on. Maybe they know this person a bit better than you do, like a mutual friend, and they can kind of translate what's going on. The Sun, this is saying keep prioritizing your joy. Definitely more Leo and 5th house confirmation, leadership, creativity, spotlight. You know, you shining might irritate competitive people, but that is not your problem, Path 4. You know, there's room for more than one Sun. They're the one acting like there can only be one, and that's not your business. That's not your thing to worry about. You are allowed to lead and shine as you are. Marriage showing up, I found that really interesting. Maybe you are married to this person, and they're also jealous of you. I don't know. One thing I was thinking, if like, you know, this person can't have access to you, the access that they'd want, they keep pushing it too far, or they're not respecting a relationship you're currently in. This person could be jealous of a relationship you're in, and that's why they wind you up, because they can't explore the sexual tension with you, maybe out of respect that you have for your own relationship. Maybe if you've had to like set boundaries with this person, it's like they can't have access to you in that way, so that's why it comes out in different ways. It doesn't have to be a literal marriage, but if you're in a committed relationship, that could apply. I'm also thinking this is picking up on this person's codependency patterns, you know, maybe being married to a job or having commitments in their life without boundaries and then blaming others when things get messy. Or maybe this is like a work wife or work husband dynamic that got messy, like somebody's feelings got in too deep, the flirting was taken too far. If conflict has been the glue in this dynamic, though, that needs reworking. Like, that needs to change. There needs to be another way to go forward with this. And I think with Vine, this is saying don't get tangled in other people's projections, but do gather clean intel. You know, like we said with the teapot, a trusted friend or ally may share some context clues that clear the air. Knowing the why of the situation helps you set or keep boundaries without getting choked by the vines around your neck and all the drama that's wrapped up in that. So bottom line here is lean into your sun, into your joy, into your self-respect. Let a trusted teapot friend spill the tea and give you some useful facts. You don't need to act on the facts, you can just sit with them and do what's best for you. Clock the marriage and codependency themes for what they are, and use vines of information wisely for clarity and not gossip spirals needlessly. So that is what I'm getting for your reading, Pal 4. I really hope you enjoyed this reading today. If you did like the reading, please do me a massive favour. Please like the video. Please leave me a little comment, let me know what resonated, or just let me know which pile you picked if you don't feel comfortable letting me know what resonated. Either just claim your pile or put an emoji. Any engagement would really help me and help this channel. And on a personal level, I am nosy and I just really enjoy hearing from you guys. I like hearing your stories, I like hearing about who this is. So anything you want to share with me in that regard is very much welcome. Please keep it respectful if possible. Please hype the video if you get a chance. I don't really know what that does, but I know a few of you did it on my last video and I am so grateful. Like I said, I don't really know what it's doing, but I think it's a good thing. So if you have any high points to spare and you genuinely like the video, go ahead and do that. I want to see if it has an impact going forward. But yeah, any engagement would help me. Please share, please sub if you haven't done so already. With all of that said, I just want to thank you so much for being here. Thank you for spending this time with me and sending your beautiful energy. I am forever grateful, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much and take care, Pal 4. I'll see you in the next one. Hi Pal 5 Collective. If you chose the Orchid Valley Tarot and you chose this haunted house sticker, you are in the correct place. Welcome to your reading, friends. This reading is titled Who is Under Your Spell and Why? If you would like a full breakdown regarding everything this reading will entail, please check out my introduction. I go through absolutely everything there, disclaimers and all. I will also leave some details in the pinned comment for your reference so you know what to expect. But without any further hesitation, let's get started and have a look at the cards we pulled for you, Pal 5. As usual, we're going to be using a selection of oracle cards and tarot cards today. We're going to be diving straight into who this person is and why they are under your spell. Please don't worry if not all of the cards are in frame at first. I am really struggling to get all of the cards in frame, but I'm going to lay them and then I will have a look at the camera to check. Please bear with me, I'm not working with the most space, I'm not working with the best equipment, so just be patient with me. Also, I'm sorry if the light in here is really bad. I feel like I keep apologising. Sorry. Oh, I just apologised for apologising. Okay, I need to stop doing that. But yeah, it's going dark and this is the only time I can record. So yeah, I will try and edit the light a little bit so it's a bit clearer. Anyway, I'm rambling. Okay, let's get on to your reading. I'm going to move your sticker over here for now. Okay, so over here from the Modern Witch Spiritual deck, we have communication. Okay, so maybe somebody you are talking to right now is relevant. And the clarifier is the Four of Cups reverse. From the Moonology Oracle, we have got the energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. Okay, maybe you can feel something building up in the air between you and this person. Maybe the dynamic is kind of charged right now. The clarifier for that is the Five of Pentacles reverse. Okay, somebody coming out of a difficult time could be relevant. From the Green Witch Oracle, we have number 43, Tranquility Violet. And clarifying that, we have the King of Pentacles. I feel like that's come out in so many readings today. King energy coming through. Heavy boss and leadership energy. Love to see it. From the Audacity deck, we've got the Audacity. It's the Audacity deck and we've literally got the Audacity. Somebody is audacious. Maybe that's you, Pal 5. And the clarifier is the Magician. Yeah, you are straight up magic to this person, Pal 5. You got the magic potion, you got the sauce, you got the special something that they love. Okay, from the Wild Muse Oracle, we have goal setting. That's giving me Sagittarius vibes. And clarifying goal setting is the Page of Wands. Yeah, fire sign energy heavy. From the Unmasked Truths Oracle, we have got Untamed Desires. Looking for loyalty, needs physical intimacy, seems like a mirage, grace, restless companion. Maybe someone here has, what's it called, restless leg syndrome. Maybe somebody's love language is physical touch. That might be relevant. Clarifying that is the Eight of Swords. Interesting. From the Wandering Soul Oracle, we have Bound. Maybe a rope is significant. Take that how it resonates. Maybe somebody's into some light BDSM. Good for you. If that's you, Pal 5. Doesn't have to be. Clarifying Bound is the Four of Wands. Maybe somebody's celebrating something right now. Something about your home, your family might be relevant. And your archetype card is Avenger. Light attributes. Desire to balance the scales of justice. Righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. Shadow attribute. Resorting to violence in the name of a cause. Or it gives like a kind of Robin Hood kind of vibe. That might be relevant for somebody. And clarifying that, we have the Hanged Man. Okay. So in terms of confirmations and first impressions, the numbers 43, 4 or 3 individually, or the number 7 could be meaningful to you in some way, Pal 5. So that could be in terms of an age, a date, a birthday, a life path, an angel number or synchronicity you're seeing a lot of, an upcoming date circled on your calendar, an astrological house or the sign associated with that house. In terms of signs and houses, I'm getting something about Gemini, 3rd house, communication being significant, Cancer, 4th house, home and family being relevant, Libra, 7th house, relationships, and also strong Sagittarius / Archer energy here too. There's something about bows, something about a bow and arrow, something about target practice coming through. I'm also thinking of like Cupid's arrow, like somebody has been struck by Cupid's arrow when it comes to you, Pal 5. In terms of symbolism, horses could be relevant. Maybe somebody grew up riding horses. Stables are relevant. Maybe somebody is in their horse girl era. Maybe it never really died. Yeah, something about ropes. Yes, like leading a horse with a rope. I don't know. I'm hearing the phrase, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So maybe this is you, like, you feel like you've given this person some signs, but maybe they're not taking the plunge. You've given them plenty of water. You're saying, here I am, fill your boots, hydrate, and they are remaining thirsty. I don't know, that's going through. I'm getting something about nervous system and sleep. Somebody could be currently fine-tuning a sleep ritual. There's something about magnesium, an eye mask, lavender spray, breathwork, white noise, because somebody's brain here is very overactive. Somebody's brain likes to do the little 3 a.m. TED talk. Somebody's brain needs to settle down. I'm also seeing something about purple. I'm getting like purple everywhere. Even with these cards, there's a purple theme going on. So clothes, decor, that could be somebody's favorite color. Somebody could have a purple aura. I think purple aura indicates intuitive abilities, somebody who's empathic, creative, connected. Bright purple indicates a strong psychic ping, and I believe darker purple indicates intuitive gifts that might be a little bit blocked by worry. So maybe that is relevant for somebody here. I'm also getting something about specific fandoms. I think with the Avenger card, I'm thinking of the Avengers movie. So maybe like superhero movies, maybe Marvel is significant. I'm getting something about comics, something about graphic art, digital art. I'm getting something about anime as well for somebody. And this waxing moon showing up. Some of you could have been born under a waxing phase, or it's like maybe this whole situation is a growth cycle and there's like shoots pushing through the soil right now. Also, bonus confirmation with you choosing the haunted house sticker. You might be a bit of an adrenaline junkie. You might be the kind of person who would go to a haunted house or a scare maze on a date, which, you know, if you're watching at the time of me uploading, October is the perfect season for that. Your energy kind of says to people like, let's scream together, then laugh about it. It fits this spread perfectly. It's fun, it's slightly daring like you. It's kind of this zero pressure but memories unlocked kind of vibe. If those things, any of those things hit for you, this is your pile 5. Hopefully it's resonating so far. So let's have a look at who this person is and how you might know them. To me, this feels like a relatively newish crush, or a familiar person with some new feelings that are waking up. I feel like this is someone you are in contact with to some degree. Maybe you're in some kind of ongoing conversation. You could have open text threads with this person, voice notes, calls. You could chat in person wherever you see them, maybe at school or work or through family and friends. This person is likely, I want to say, very home and family orientated. This might be somebody who talks about their family a lot. Maybe they tell cute family stories, they check in on loved ones. I think this person is somebody who is very loyal, and chosen family also counts if it's not their biological family. It's like the people who are theirs really matter to them, and they include these people in conversations. A lot of their stories revolve around like people who they care about. You might notice that. I get the sense this person is maybe more introverted than you. They're introvert leaning, but at the same time, they're very deep. I get the feeling this person listens more than they talk, but once they get comfortable, the conversations go deep. They might be better at one-on-one interactions than they are like in a group. I'm also getting that they could be very selective with attraction. Honestly, some of these people to me kind of read as demisexual. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the actual word or talk about schmexuality. That doesn't have to apply, but I am getting this impression. I don't want to assume anyone's schmexuality here, but they could identify with that. Maybe you could as well, but somebody here doesn't catch feelings very often. So you arriving and them having this profound attraction is a bit like a comet hitting them. It's a lot. This person could be more of a gentle initiator. I don't think this person is pushy. I don't think they're flashy. I think their moves are quite subtle. Like, this could be the kind of person who you know they like you because they say yes to doing your errands with you with zero errands of their own. They just want to be beside you whilst you're doing it. So, for example, if you say to them, like, hey, I need to go to the post office to return some packages. Do you need to return any packages? They're like, no, but I'll hang out with you. Like, they walk with you empty-handed just because they want time in your orbit. They really appreciate that time. I also kind of get the impression this is somebody who like imprints, and they have imprinted on you. I'm thinking of Twilight now, when Jacob imprints on that baby, which is really fucking weird, by the way. It's not that exact vibe because that was strange. That was a choice. But yeah, it's like this person, once they imprint, once they bond, they really bond. And that's why they're keeping this thread warm even when they're quite shy about it. This person could tend to isolate when things get a bit much for them. When life gets loud, this person goes quiet to self-regulate, and then they pop back up with a fresh perspective. Yeah, this person, they don't get crushes often, but with you, it's giving this sense of like, oh no, like I have the hots and I also want to talk for 5 hours about nothing and everything. And yeah, you've got them in their feelings, pile 5. Definitely under your spell. So with that said, let's gas you up properly because this is what the reading's about, why they are under your spell. This person sees you as very much a free spirit. I'm getting wild horse energy. You're the person who will like book the ticket, try the thing, speak the thought, send the email. You're a doer. They like that you're a doer. If there's any Sagittarius energy involved in this, they see you as somebody who is eyes on the prize, and they see you as somebody who you don't wait for permission to live and to do what you want to do. They also view you as someone who is authentic to the bone. You don't water yourself down to be palatable. You will be the person who says the out-of-pocket thing, and then you'll pivot to empathy. You're not performative, you're real, you're genuine. They're saying as well that you're audacious and witty. You have so many clapbacks, you have so many roasts. You're never cruel with it, you're just like a little bit spicy. You will go there. The way you can spin a topic from like meme level to philosophical in 30 seconds is just something they absolutely live for. They see you as somebody who is non-judgmental and curious. You are not afraid to talk about taboo subjects without shame. You'll laugh at yourself, but you'll also listen deeply, and that combination disarms people, specifically this person. They're saying something about your experience and openness as well. To them, you feel kind of worldly or streetwise, even if you'd never refer to yourself that way. It's like they see you as somebody who's tried things. They see you as somebody who has stories. Basically, you carry yourself like somebody who's lived and experienced. And also they're saying you inspire action. Like around you, people tend to do these spontaneous and fun things that they were scared to do beforehand. And that includes this person. They look at you and they think of the song Wild Horses by Natasha Bedingfield. And they want to gallop, even if their default motion is this tidy, rigid trot. They want to gallop along with you and just be like free and untamed. You bring that out of them. You bring out this side that was maybe buried a bit more deep. So with communication and the Four of Cups reversed, this kind of opens the whole energy. Something that once sat in teetering on the edge of something or almost or emotional autopilot, that thing is waking up, and communication is the vehicle here. The Four of Cups reversed is the choice to engage. Where there was hesitation, we're getting like re-interest, we're getting warmer replies, we're getting thoughtful follow-ups, and those cute moments of like them saying that they're thinking of you. If they used to be the type to like write a paragraph and then you saw that they were typing for ages and then they delete the whole thing and just be like, lol, yeah, or something like that, they are pushing past that. This is the moment someone looks up and says like, I'm not going to let this cup pass me by, like I've got to take my chance here. So that could be the energy they're moving towards. Maybe you're noticing more of that if this is like an ongoing crush situation. Things could be friendly for now. Things could feel quite friendly. This could be friends to lovers. With the waxing moon and the Five of Pentacles reverse, the lunar build meets a re-entry after a cold season. This is growth that happens through tiny, brave steps. You know, coming back from isolation, rejoining the thread, letting hope back in. It's this shift from like outsider looking in to somebody saying, I belong here. So if this person goes quiet as a means of self-soothing, the recovery window is shortening now. You'll feel momentum, you'll feel their intentions, you'll feel something sprouting up, and it's like you're both watering those sprouts, you're both wanting them to grow. With tranquility and the King of Pentacles, this is like nervous system calm meeting steady real-world care. Essentially, they want safety over drama. You both downshift into that we're good frequency. There's something about parallel play coming through. Maybe you guys are going to be playing like video games together or something, I don't know. But yeah, I'm getting that purple aura vibe again with the violet. So intuitive, empathetic, creative. The King of Pentacles shows up as like acts of service. This is somebody like showing up as remembering your favourite snack, carrying boxes for you, checking your tyres on your car, rather than like speeches and words of affirmation. It's not boring though, it's like regulating, it's getting into this fine rhythm. Your fire purrs and their earth roots both of you. With the audacity and the magician, your audacity flips the magician switch. You kind of say, why not? And then their fear loses volume. This combo is an activation. Words become green lights, ideas turn into tiny experiments, and confidence grows by doing. It's also chemistry coming through in dialogue. You talk and then they feel more capable as a result. You dare and they try. Manifestation here is practical. It's not just woo-woo. It's calendars, tickets, little commitments that prove like, let's keep this going. We can do this. Why don't we try this together? With goal setting and the Page of Wands, this is aiming on purpose with playful and exploratory action. Expect micro plans with big dopamine hits. Just little things to start off with, like maybe, oh, let's try this new restaurant, or should we go on a date to the archery range, or should we have a walk with some hot chocolate? Or somebody sending somebody a reel and being like, hey, this reminds me of you. The Page of Wands keeps it light and curious, but goal setting makes it more intentional. It is not like grand gestures here, but it's consistent sparks that keep this flame alive. It keeps it very friendly, flirty, fun, but also like spontaneous too. It activates both of you, it gets both of you excited. With Untamed Desire and the Eight of Swords, desire is loud. The mind is knotted though. Yes, the rope analogy lands here. Take that how you will. The Eight of Swords is about self-binding. It's about overthinking, performance nerves, typing these novels and then deleting them. It explains this kind of stop-start rhythm that might have occurred. This pair is not a red flag by itself. It's a pacing guide. The desire is very real here. It's just maybe not what this person is used to. They're not used to feeling this untamed, this animalistic. They're under your spell because you bring out this kind of primal side to them. And that's a little bit scary for them, and it needs compassion because, you know, this is so new to them, this physicalness to this crush that they have. They need kind handling, but this definitely isn't a red flag. It's not coming through like that. With Bound and the Four of Wands, this is like a sweet little soul tie plus homecoming. This is the card of belonging. It's about celebrations, housewarmings, weddings, family events, community events. Even if you guys look like opposites on paper, even if you don't look like each other's types right off the bat, your bodies say home to each other. It's like they want to be woven into your ordinary day-to-day schedule. They want to run errands with you. They want to have deep chats with you on the sofa. They want the Tuesday nothingness that feels like everything when they're with you. If you re-met this person at some kind of gathering, this double confirms the like, we found each other in the crowd thread. With Avenger and the Hanged Man, this is like values-driven protector energy with a respectful pause. It's like this person, something they admire about you and why they're under your spell, they see that you will speak up and defend and avenge, and it kind of awakens their own courage and their own desire to be the hero and to step up for you and other people who need it too, and themselves. But sometimes they stall, but you inspire confidence to like go ahead and do the thing. But the Hanged Man, for some of them, it's not stalling, it's not apathy, it's like choosing a better angle. A perspective flip is happening. They're going from like passive to purposeful. They're going from people pleasing to principled action. This is where like slow and steady becomes right person, right approach, and I'm getting there. So we're going from apathy to action. We might be going from adrenaline to regulated romance. We might be going from fantasy to tiny proofs. We might be going from tension and chemistry and untamed desire to community. We might be going from this space of limbo to aligned movement. Like, let's give this connection what it deserves. Let's avenge all the things we haven't done and have yet to do. Let's do that. I'm ready to do that. I'm getting there. That is what this person is saying. So the bottom line here is, you know, this spread says that the energy is growing in a purposeful direction. There's going to be less guessing, more gentle bravery, gentle and reluctant bravery, but bravery nonetheless, especially on this person's side. If they are more shy, there's going to be like less performance, less worry about how to mask. Maybe somebody has a mask at the moment that they're trying to push past. I think there's a need to keep it simple, keep it honest, keep it fun, and just let these shoots keep pushing through in their own time. So further details in terms of why they're under your spell, Pal 5. Things they think about and obsess over, but they would never ever tell you out loud, or at least not yet. But part of it is your fearlessness in public that is really coming through. They see you as somebody where you'll ask for what you need. If you get the wrong order, you will send it back. You will go on that solo date. You will book the trip. You will introduce yourself. They wish they had the nerve what is it? I'm getting the RuPaul quote, the nerve charisma. Oh, I've not watched it in so long. Nerve charisma talent. Oh, I can't remember. But they wish they had your nerve. They wish they had your audacity. You make it look easy. You make it look effortless. Even if it's not, that's how you come across. They also are obsessed with your brain. It's like you can dissect a heavy topic with clarity and you can crack a joke at the same time. You are as comfortable debating philosophy as you are sending a meme. Your humour, your quick-wittedness, they love that you're slightly feral. I'm getting you're feral. You're unbound when you need to be. It's like you can roast people, but you can still be like light-hearted about it. If you have any one-liners, it's like this person saves your one-liners in their head and they think about it later. They're like, that was so fucking funny when Power 5 said that. They adore your openness. You will talk taboo without any shame. You will hold space for other people's truth. That non-judgmental lens makes people bloom around you and they see that and they love that so much. They might like your vibe with kids and animals. Maybe you soften around animals and they clock that little bit of a nurturing energy that you have. Maybe they think you look great in purple. And yeah, just your experience generally, they think that you've lived more stories, more dates, more travel, more everything. It both intimidates and fascinates them. It's kind of, in a weird way, like they look at you as this cool older sibling. Not as a sibling, obviously, but that energy of like they want to impress you, even if they're the same age as you, even if you're younger than them even, that could apply. And it's like, yeah, they admire your ability to initiate, your ability to go first. You start. You don't wait for the confidence to arrive. You create it by simply doing, and that's the spell here. So if you're getting mixed signals from this person, I'll talk a little bit more about their potential insecurities so you can kind of see where they're coming from. This is just so you guys have clarity. But yeah, there could be some element of performance anxiety. They sometimes worry that you'll think they're uncool or inexperienced if the mask comes off. So how they might keep themselves safe is by not showing too much. They might be stuck in a freeze response nervous system wise. It's like when their desire spikes, the brain kind of clamps down. That explains any silent patches. They're in like paralysis mode with that 8 of Swords. They could also be dealing with some kind of like, I want to say comparison gremlin. It's like they're saying to themselves, you know, what do I have to offer Power 5 that they haven't already experienced? They want to offer you something new, but they're not quite sure what that is. They're not sure whether you'll get bored of them or whether you'll need somebody more exciting. They want to say things that surprise you. They want to step into their spontaneous energy, but they might worry that they're too boring or too reserved for you. Maybe they grew up in like a traditional family. Maybe they grew up in a more reserved way, like they've been told to repress some of these desires that they have, so they're not sure if like, almost like they can keep up with you. And it's like this element of them being ordered and you being a whirlwind. It's like they crave routine and you are this glorious hurricane which secretly speaks to something in their soul and sparks this desire. But what they've been used to is like control and rigidity and routines, and maybe they both want it and fear it at the same time. And at the center of it all, they keep choosing this connection because you feel like home and adventure at the same time. They feel like they can have both with you, and that's why they're under your spell. So if you want this to grow with this person, if this is mutual, if this isn't an unrequited crush, you could invite small adventures. So things like coffee walks, runs to the bookstore, going to the market together, or just like come with me and do this errand, because they'd be very open to that. Maybe naming the spark lightly, like reassuring them that, you know, we have fun together. That can kind of diffuse their overthinking. And always remember, like, you can set the pace with this person. This person would be very respectful of your boundaries. If you say to them, like, no rush here, no pressure, I like getting to know you, it kind of allows them to exhale and actually open up. And just keep talking, keep the lines of communication open. Communication could be one of the love languages here. You know, voice notes, random links, things that say, like, oh, this made me think of you. You're the magician and your words are gentle green lights for this person. So with communication and the Four of Cups reversed, it's like a missed cup becomes the cup they choose. So expect warmer and steadier contact here. If they used to leave you on scene because they panicked, maybe that pattern is shifting. They don't want to keep sleeping on this. They don't want the opportunity to pass them by. With Waxing Moon and the Five of Pentacles, this indicates growth after a cold season. They're coming back through the door they once stood outside of, especially if they sometimes isolate to cope. They're trying to learn how not to do that. With Tranquility and the King of Pentacles, they are offering stability without control, and you offer presence without performance. It's like the late night tea together, the shared blanket, this soft place to land. And yeah, they want to be that person for you where when you're scattered and you're all over the place and you're this whirlwind, they want to be that grounding factor and that person who's like, don't worry, I remembered your favourite snack. They want to be that person, that kind of sidekick to you who's like, I just want to support you while you live your dream and you live your life. I just want to be alongside you and let you take on the world, because they really feel like you're capable of anything. With the Audacity and the Magician, your initiation of like, let's try it, becomes their, I went and did it. You are the spark, they are the build. You talk them out of that cage of them thinking like, what if I'm not enough? With goal setting and the Page of Wands, this talks about little plans with huge impact. You just suggesting like, let's try this. It's flirty, it's curious, it's a tiny bit chaotic, but it's perfect for you guys. With Untamed Desire and the Eight of Swords, yep, there's a rope undertone here, but the point is, desire is alive, fear ties the knots, but compassion loosens them faster than pressure. With Bound and the Four of Wands, it's that home at first laugh feeling. House parties, weddings, community events, watch for those as catalysts within this. They want to be woven into your everyday. They want to just join you on your journey. With Avenger and Hanged Man, this is you as that kind of righteous protector that they see you as. And it's them learning to move from values instead of fear. The pause that they're maybe in right now is due to respect. They want to approach right, not fast, but they do want to avenge this connection and give it everything they can give and all they can offer. So Power 5, they are under your spell because you are bold, you are fearless. You are this laughing archer who lives on purpose. You carry this wild horse freedom and this purple aura wisdom all in the same body. You speak truth, you invite adventure, and you somehow still feel like home in all of that. You've pulled this person in from the cold, you've flipped their perspective, and you've lit up their courage and their creativity, and yes, even their desire as well. If you want this with them, I think it's best to keep it fun and simple, just small plans, just honest words, just steady invitations. Let their King of Pentacles steadiness hold hands with your Page of Wands spark. And if not, they will still remember you as the person who taught them how to choose life louder and the one who made them brave, the one who made them step out of their comfort zone and do something different this time. So that is what I'm getting for your reading, Pal 5. We're just going to end the reading by looking at some tea leaf cards just for some extra confirmation and clarity. So again, these might be specific confirmations for specific people. I will touch on them a little bit before we finish, but let's have a look at what we pulled for you. Okay, we have got a dragon, beware of self-delusion. We have got grapes, time to go out and have fun. We have a quill, get back to the basics. And we have egg, success assured with good plans and hard work. So with this dragon, beware of self-delusion, I think this person is maybe worried that they are deluding themselves. Maybe they are kind of having, to some degree, a little bit of a pity party due to their own mental dragons. Maybe they're saying to themselves like, oh, Power 5 is only nice to me out of pity. You know, they couldn't actually be attracted to me. This couldn't be mutual. I'm seeing like fantasy layers too. I'm seeing actual dragons, you know, myths, games where you pass gates and fight bosses. It's like they want to slay the mind dragons, you know, this insecurity, this mask, and they want to be the hero, the avenger. But sometimes it's as if they'd rather be your dragon sidekick while you breathe fire. This is about inner courage. It's about them going on an internal quest and getting past these blocks. They want to slay the dragon because it's worth it to like come and rescue you and come and avenge you in this connection. With grapes, time to go out and have fun. Laughter is an absolute green light. You two, I feel like you're really silly together. The conversations always turn juicy. Also, this could be a hint, a nudge towards a fun event coming up soon. Maybe you're going to be at the same place, at the same venue, with the same friends, in the same room. Low stakes joy opens the door. And I think more than anything, they'd have fun just literally sat in your house. And they'd actually happily sit by your throne and feed you grapes and worship you. I'm not going to lie, Part 5, it feels like they would literally worship you. With Quill, get back to basics. Back to the foundations, friendship, steady chat, simple check-ins after any kind of quiet patch. Writers, scribes, screenwriters, poets, this could be your pile. Lovers of the written word, bookworms, that could be relevant. Their humour might actually land best in text. You might notice this about them. They might be better in text and you're better in person or something. And they adore how you tell a story. They adore that you're blunt and you're brave. You are somehow poetic in what you say, even if you don't consider it in that way. I would maybe expect longer messages and more consistent communication from this person. There's more they want to say, and the more you talk to them, the more they will open up. And with egg, this is a golden egg omen. With clear paths and with consistent effort, this can hatch very, very beautifully. They have a fear of putting all their eggs in one basket, especially if they consider you like more popular or more social. I think they just maybe need more reassurance to beat their anxiety. But I'm also getting like, even if this doesn't go into something romantic, even if it does stay a friendship, if that's what you choose, they will always view you as this rare golden egg. The vibe here is overall like really, really positive, really growth orientated, and very, very kind. There's a lot of love and support between you guys. There's a lot of compassion, just a lot of natural flow and positive energy and fun. And I really love to see it, Pal 5. Some of the readings can be pretty heavy, so I'm really happy with where this one has gone. You are opening this person up in ways they didn't know were possible. So that is what I'm getting for you, Pal 5. I really, really hope you enjoyed this reading today. If you did like the reading, please don't forget to like the video. Please comment if you get a chance, let me know what resonated, or just let me know which pal you picked. If you don't feel comfortable, let me know what resonated. You could also just leave a little emoji, anyone you want, just let me know which pal you're claiming. All of that helps me so much in terms of engagement, in terms of letting the algorithm know that you like my content. I could really do with a little bit of a boost if you get a chance. Please hype me if you really liked the video. I don't know what hyping does, but a few of you did it on my last video, so thank you so much for doing that. Again, I don't really know what it does, but I think it's a good thing. So if you genuinely like the content, please do that. Yeah, on a personal note, I just really love hearing from you guys. I'm here for the tea, I'm here for being nosy, so if you want to tell me your life story in a comment, that is absolutely fine as well. I love to see it. You're always welcome here. Please share and sub if you haven't done so already and you would like to. With all of that said, I want to thank you so much for being here. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for sending me your beautiful energy. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one, Pal 5. Take care.